Hey, everybody. Welcome to AAA episode 302. Faster than you think. You know what's not going faster than anyone would think? Tweets. How you doing, Sinatra?
Oh, I'm not too bad, buddy. What's going on? How's you doing?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, the tweets, Twitter's fucked right now. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I'm over my daily limit of tweets. Whatever the hell. I looked it up. There's some kind of outage issue, something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's number one on Down Detector.
I was trying to send a reply to something Far sent, and it said, "You're over your daily limit of tweets." I was like, what? Like, this was right before the show started, and I don't know. I was like, okay, well, that's a first. Where's the music? Come on. There we go. Bastards, start playing. Pay you good money, goddamn. Boom. No limes because Drunk Lane here. No bergamot here. But feel free to pre-order your bergamontage if you'd like. But anyway,
yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I was trying to send a fucking tweet to Far to mock the shit out of her, and it didn't work. I mean, chat here, look. Getting this, and it said problem with Australian users, and I'm like, oh, not an Australian user. Yeah, I'm using a VPN, but I'm not currently located in Australia. What the f? This is me. Look at this. You are over your daily limit of tweets. Okay.
2 tweets per day.
Yeah. I was like, is this like how everyone's a blue check mark now on Twitter, that I can't send more than like a tweet a day if I'm not a blue check mark? I don't know. I thought it was a new Elon grabbage cash deal, but no.
What? Cash grab on Twitter from Elon Musk? I never.
Yeah. Somebody pointed out to me the other day. It's like, hey, what are you fucking kidding me? You are going to complain about fucking too many blue check marks on Twitter? Have you looked at your fucking chat? It's a fucking wrench no state. And I'm like, hey, you don't point out obvious similarities that I hadn't thought of yet, bastard.
But also, it's two different things. Check marks had a purpose.
They did, in terms of verification. But do you really think the first time they ever violated that publicly in a high-profile way was Milo Yiannopoulos? Remember when they took away his check mark, and it's like,
I think it was.
He's no longer Milo? You found out that he's actually a bot or something? You know what I mean?
Well, that was the first kind of sign that it was just about being an approved person and not a verification of identity.
Exactly. And they said it. Like, the language at that time, whatever the fuck it was, they're like, yeah, it's not just a verification of your identity, like you said. It's also a sign that you're a part of the larger community and whatnot. Like, oh, fuck off. You guys are weird. Speaking of you guys, who's all hanging out in chat? I got Bookworm Attic, and Gospel's the first guy in, I think. And, oh man, just everyone's here. Blood, and would know they're all here, Sinatra, without receiving a tweet prompt.
Everybody should be here.
Well, yeah, but they didn't get a tweet prompt. It makes me think that the just over 1,000 people that follow me on Twitter aren't actually paying attention to what I say. Not that I'm getting.
What?
I know.
I am shocked.
Not that shocked. Thomas S. and Carol Soldier and Jonathan Kate. 16 who's here. Daryl Odell. Shadow Claw, of course. Okay. Guide. Cool. Josh Montgomery. All the regulars are here. I like it. I like it. There's Mike Savage. Frank Cap. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, Sin, how's things been since Monday? Good? Bad?
Oh, busy.
With?
Everything and more.
Okay.
I have like 4 too many plates in the air right now, and I'm trying to figure out which one I can put down for the time being and not be too worried about it.
Pick up an extra one and get a Guinness World Record.
And right now, it's really looking like sleep is going to be the easiest one to put down.
Like,
or
you want
my
to, or
end
it's just
of the night.
It's just going to end up that way, man. It's not a decision.
I think it's ending up that way because, like, I'm so stressed out with shit that I don't sleep well anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it's either, like, cut back a half an hour of sleep to just get that little more time in a day, or don't play my end of the night, shut my brain off for a half an hour before bed video game.
What? Oh.
Freedom.
Indeed. Not a polyword, thank you for the $1, who simply says, penis. Penis. And in case you're paying extra attention, there's 2 new donations down there. Feel free to explore at your will. Did I finish the Kenshin Sword Slaughter, alternatively known as Genshin Impact? Did I finish part 2? Yes, I did. And it's down there.
Nice.
Yeah. And also Peppermint Heroin's down there too. So, yeah, good times for all. Yeah. I'm trying to think about...
But yeah, just a ton of shit. It's driving me insane. Thankfully, after this week, a little bit of it should let up. I still have no update on the whole situation with the car dealership. I was supposed to go up there yesterday, and I didn't have time.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to go up there today, and I forgot I had to take my mom to an appointment. And getting that old lady out of the house literally took an hour and a half
Freedom.
to get her out of the house to the appointment and back. And that just threw my whole day off.
I went into 7-Eleven after leaving my house without coffee. No covfefe. I don't think I've ever asked you. Do you wake up with a coffee? Do you need a caffeine hit soon after rising?
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay, cool, good. What are you doing in the morning? A pot of drip, a French press? What's the situation over there?
I am quick, dirty, and to the point. Keurig K-Cup Black.
Nice. Yeah. When I had a Keurig machine that worked, because it's not like they designed them to fail within a fucking, well, I was about to say a year. It's more like 6 months. And the smaller of a one that you buy, the more likely it is to fail.
Yeah, the cheapest one fails almost immediately.
Yeah, that little single cup operation. Have you seen the relatively recent one? Have you seen the super minimalist design? It's basically
I got one of those in the studio.
Yeah? Is it like the real slim college dorm one where you came and fit an extra tall
Heroin.
under it?
Peppermint flavored heroin.
First of all, thank you. Peppermint Heroin, thank you for the 375. Who simply said, "What do?" Well, it's Cary Grant discovering peppermint flavored heroin. What more could you ask for? And Polyword Doc, thank you for the $1. Who simply says, "Again, penis."
I mean,
It's very insistent.
man's got a point.
Yeah. And so will she.
But I also take a scoop of pre-workout right in the morning too. So it's a little of this and a little of that.
If you're tired of starting over, stop starting over. Give up. Don't dream. Just stop working hard and let your dreams be dreams. You can't do it. Nothing is possible, and you're not gonna make it.
Okay, I can give you guys some advice. Don't ever watch that clip in the morning. I did. When I was checking the volume on a few different donations, and it was like, I don't know, 5 a.m., and I had slept for like 2 hours from like midnight to 2 a.m., and I was fucking around and I was in Discord, and like, man, that'll take the steam right out of your whole day listening to Shia LaBeouf or yell at you that there's no point and you can't do it and whatnot. Yeah. He's surprisingly a good demotivator, but a terrible motivator.
I don't know. It takes a lot to demotivate me, honestly.
I don't know. Try it. See. I could take the wind out of fucking some pretty robust sales. And for Sherman, thank you for the 1125. Hey guys, I brought he bought Destroy All Humans 1 and 2. Remember he was asking, should he buy 1 and 2 or just 1? Yeah. And Sniper Ghost Warrior contracts 1 and 2, all for $30. If anyone asked, yes, I bought it through a third-party seller. It's better than almost $100 through Steam. How does that work? Game guy.
I don't know. The donation played over you talking. What'd you say?
What donation? The coins dropping?
Yeah.
You couldn't hear me over that?
No, it distracted me.
Oh my god. You're like the meme. Oh my god, look, a squirrel. And you're off.
Well, I was listening, and then I heard all I heard was the intro to Money, and I'm like, ooh.
Oh, look, money. This is what I'm here for. I don't care what Polly's talking about. Fuck him. Money.
What did you say?
He bought Sniper Ghost Warrior 1 and 2, Contracts 1 and 2, and Destroy All Humans 1 and 2, and all of it for $30. And he says, if anyone asks,
Not
I
bad.
bought it through a third-party seller, cheaper than the 100 on Steam. How do you do that?
You can buy it through a service like Humble Bundle or something like that, and it gives you the key to activate on Steam.
Really? So they're
Yeah,
they're in your Steam
there's a
account,
way
even
to
though
do
you
that.
bought it from an outside source. It'll be in your library on Steam.
Yeah, you just have to activate it through Steam. It gives you a product key, and you just go into Steam and you click activate through Steam, and it just activates it that way.
That's I didn't think they would allow something like that, but I guess anything that promotes more usage of their service. They don't-
Steam is, I want to say, the most solid platform on the internet.
I don't know. I think GOG comes across as, I mean, I'm a non-gamer, but it comes across as better because you actually get to, get the games. It's not like if they shut you out or the fucking studio decides to no longer service the title, it's gone, even though you bought it.
I think that's anything with digital games. It sounds like a legal thing. I don't think GOG has supremacy over that.
No, that has happened with the. It was one of the Assassin's Creed games. Even if you had bought it on Steam, I think because they were pushing like the remastered version or something like that, so they just made it unavailable. Even if you had it in your library, you couldn't play it anymore. But I mean, as Polly said, with GOG, like you actually, you don't have to go through GOG to play the game. You download it straight up.
Okay.
And the scary thing is, like with Steam, like if your account gets shut down or you lose the password or something, like that's all your games. You're never getting them back.
I've never heard of anybody getting banned off of Steam.
Banned isn't necessarily the. I mean, I did hear a story of a mother was pissed off with her son, so she deleted his Steam account, and that was. I mean, and you can't get that back then.
Okay.
I was surprised at. I don't know if it seems like corporate greed or wow, that's a hell of a good service. But when I let my Audible account lapse, and it was purposeful. Like it was just like, okay, I've gotten everything that I can get for a while, and I can.
Okay, I feel as though I know where you're going with this because I've done the same thing.
Yeah, when I went to get it back using the same email address, boom, all my old titles were there in my library.
Yeah, you just had to re-download them again. But not just that, like fucking, because you get like one token a month as well, so you get a free audiobook effectively, and like that shit just accumulates, man.
I always manage to go through more than a credit in a month. Like,
Yeah.
there is a way.
Not if you're not using it though, like you just fucking you use it account for a little. You come back and like you go, oh shit, I could fucking download 8 audiobooks now. Brilliant.
When you came back over a year later or half a year later.
I started the Witcher books.
The audiobooks?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Drunkle? Your illiteracy shouldn't hold you back from exploring the world of...
Bitch, I own the Witcher books, like the actual books.
They're fun to look at, aren't they?
They are not, yeah. They're very good at keeping my doors open.
Admit it, you bought books just because you want to see them on your shelf. I've done it. It's all right.
No, all the books. I've got like a handful of books I own that I haven't read, but well, I'm buying books for aesthetic purposes. I'm not that kind of cunt.
Yeah, I'm also a little incredulous. And for Sherman, thank you for the 325. I use G2A as the site to buy Steam keys. It's also usually for dirt cheap, so to where half my Steam games are from G2A. GOG does have way older computer games to where they are sold on discs that I can play. I think it just, I don't know. I don't know what you guys and all your newfangled things. Like, where do I...
You kids and your technology.
Yeah.
Your fucking penicillin.
With your Steam accounts and you're not dying when you're 30. What the fuck?
Right? Yeah, lack of polio. What the fuck?
And then somebody said in chat, it's like Polly just found out about game keys, and it's like, not used to. Yeah, I did. Shut up. What's your point?
Shut up.
I mean, I
Stop being completely accurate. Leave me alone.
I had definitely heard of keys before, but not related in that way. But when somebody puts it in that way, it's kind of like, oh yeah, fuck. I should have been able to figure this out. That shouldn't have been surprising to me. Whatever. Yeah, modernity. Embrace monk, am I right? Yeah, I'm right.
No, I like modernity. I like Wi-Fi, and I like air conditioning.
I have 2 of those things.
Somebody in chat was just mentioning Final Fantasy X. I can actually talk about that.
Oh.
I mean, I never played it, but I watched like reviews on it. Like that's the one with Blitzball and the Pulseless Seas and whatnot.
I wouldn't know. I mean, on this one, I'm the old man.
Final Fantasy X-2, where it's like, that's the first time I'd ever heard anybody go part 2 of 10. It's not 11. It's like, all right, sure, why not? And it.
Oh, that's the bit that gets it. It's called Final Fantasy, and there's 10 of them.
One of the 10 Final Fantasies.
I don't know. I made that joke about Final Destination. You know, when the fuck are they going to get there? They're on part 4. Come on. How long are they going to drag this out? No one laughed.
Right. State of public transport being what it is. Fucking hell.
That's
Ridiculous.
10-2 killed me. It was like the first... I was like... It was like years after I'd found out about it. I was talking to some friends in Discord, and I said, what a ridiculous game. It's like all the girls, everyone's waifu that you can come back and play, and they go around after dress spheres. I mean, talk about aiming for the female demographic, just to make, and a couple of dudes that were in chat like, hey, I like that game. Like, oh
shit, the donation that distracted me, I forgot to read it out. Doc said, check your Discord DMs. I will, thank you.
Oh, all right.
No.
So, we're looking at this. Sent out on. Oh, hold on. I probably should share. What I'm talking about.
I mean, if we're talking about games, I managed to secure myself Hogwarts Legacy, which I will be streaming tonight.
Excellent.
A game which is literally killing trans people, apparently.
Well, see, I made a tweet about that game. I said that I'm not gonna play it, not because of some
Heroin. Peppermint flavored heroin.
For Sherman, thank you for the 375. Watch. Now, Polly will find out that there's a thing called VR. A headset that you wear to see games that look real while you're playing it. Hey, is that a thing? You should do porn through that.
They do.
It is, and it sucks.
Yeah.
I imagine. The thing I've been enjoying are the severe injuries that people are causing themselves with VR, like running into walls and lamps and shit.
Or punching kids. That's hilarious.
Awesome.
I don't need VR for that.
I always like violence visited upon children for no reason.
I mean, it's the best kind of violence, honestly.
The oh yeah, here we go. So Far received this message from her mother, and I quote, "Are you going to fuck Yo-Yo Canada for some maple syrup?"
I think that's a good idea, honestly.
I don't get it. I don't understand. What is being said here?
That is exactly what she asked Twitter.
Yeah.
Anyone want to guess what my mom was asking here?
Oh, I see.
Are you going up? Are you going to duck up to Canada for some maple syrup?
I can see.
Wait, duck up?
I can see the 2 because the Y is right beside the T, but I don't understand how the. No.
Oh, it's autocorrect, predictive text.
Yeah, well.
However, it says fuck
to
instead of duck, which is normally the way it goes.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that way, right? Like duck turns to fuck, I'm like fuck to duck, right?
Fuck a duck.
I mean, I tried tweeting a
going-
response and Twitter wouldn't let me. With the fuck, you
Are
reached
you
your
going
maximum
to
amount of
fuck
tweets.
up to Canada?
No, I doubt it was fuck up to Canada. I tried typing Australian. It's like listening to the Irish talk.
Fat Platypus said, I got it. Do I get a prize? Do I get some maple syrup?
Duck up to Canada. What? Your mom's predictive text is fucking wonky, Far. What the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, Australian fucking phones, am I right? It autocorrects to cuss words.
All right, you type in mate, it comes like cunt.
It is like listening
So,
to the Irish.
Did you mean?
Surely you meant there wasn't a single swear word in your entire statement. There must have been one of these that was typed incorrectly.
Typed in friend, it goes, did you mean cunt, mate? Autocorrect here, you who? You sure you didn't mean... Oi, Sheila!
Ollie, you said you finished the reworked Rurouni Kenshin Impact donation, right?
I did?
Is it still at the 100?
No.
Ooh, what's it at?
200.
Oh, $2. Okay.
No, 200.
$2.
No, I already had a $100 donation. I thought about flipping them around because like, I wanted something that was, big time, if you know what I mean, that I had actually put some effort into making that was super fucking cool. We're talking about Rurouni Kenshin.
Right.
And, a brutal sword slaughter like the first one. And so if anyone who's a fan, you'd know that the new series for Rurouni Kenshin 2023 was advertised. And I love that trailer, but it's so cut up. So I downloaded the trailer, took all the sequences out of it. Like, we found a 1080p copy of it, downloaded it, rearranged the fight sequence that was in the trailer, cut out all the other parts that weren't, like the credits and the flashing to him, to Kenshin in a park practicing. And the audio was very wistful, flighty music. And I'm like, no. So I cut out all the audio and put back in sword clashes and cuts and blood sprays and music and sword swipe noises and whatnot. It was a pretty big effort. It took like 2 days to do.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's down there and awesome. If anyone's feeling fucking generous and wants to demonstrate how their big dick energy works, feel free.
I have been considering, like, the AaA is a favorite among the people. And I think I'm going to expand on that and do like 77, 77, and maybe 777, 77. I don't know what yet. I have a 77, 77 up now, but I don't know where I'm at with it, though.
You just gave me an idea.
I have some of those.
On occasion, like when you make all of my donations, for example. I mean, those are all very, very clever moments for you.
Very good.
Yeah. Why not take your guys' donations? That's funny. I hate it when people say guises, and I just did it.
Use guys?
Yeah. Why don't I take use guys' donations and do parodies of them? I could be a satirist.
That's not bad.
There could be a Sinatra face going, "Ow!" It'd be hilarious. I could animate a little sin face doing stupid shit.
That's not a terrible idea.
Look, I mean, as long as you guys are the butt of the joke, right? It's hilarious. Yeah. And I mean, I think a donation that's fucking you, Drunkle, evolving from flat 2D animation to 4K face that you have on right now with horrifying
No one
screams
wants
of-
that.
No.
Are you going to have that, Drunkle?
He just mugged you off. You're going to put up with it.
Being mugged off by the otters.
Oh, and my sound died. That's wonderful.
I
Oh.
can still hear you. Samurai
Jeez, then.
X.
Yeah, I've been getting a micro stutters on my system. Yeah.
All right, that was cool. My sound just took his shit right there. But I thought my joke just fell flat. I thought that was fucking funny.
What was?
The 2D to 4D or 4K Drunkle. And the are you going to have that?
Oh, no, yeah, that was funny. Yeah, we
no,
laughed.
Dude, that's what we were laughing at. Okay, all right. Looking
was
good.
fine.
Everyone's
Okay, all right.
on the up and up. That's good to know.
Yep.
So, Drunkle,
Yeah.
how have you been since Monday beyond late?
Incredible amounts of pain.
Really?
Yeah, it seems on Monday I might have overdid it at the gym. So I was a bit stiff yesterday, and yesterday was leg day, which is just me floating on a leg weight machine. Hey, oh man, like I can't stretch my arms beyond about. I mean, well, if you say like a straight arm is 180 degrees, I think the most I can go is about 110 degrees. Like my arms.
Oh,
I am in pain. My entire upper body is just a big ball of lactic acid.
You know that won't happen
And-
if you go to the gym more than once a week.
No, I mean, I went twice right there in the story, which you would, if you'd have listened, then you would understand. Because I was ill. I didn't go to the gym for a couple of weeks, you see. So I guess maybe I should have been lifting less than I normally do, or doing less sets or whatever. But my entire upper body is fucked. And I went out for a pint, and then Steve Prawn, the prawn, and he went, "Okay, Mirad, I'll see you later." And he patted me on the back, and I went, "Ah, God, fuck!" If you just poke me in the boob, it hurts. I'm just loving the sympathy, boys. Loving it.
No,
Limeword through $2. He said, "Why don't Chinese kids believe in Santa Claus? Because they make the toys." Thank you very much, Limeword.
They know better. Look at me. You're the elf now.
Look at me. I am Santa.
I'm not trying to not respond. I'm just appreciating the quiet. So last night I had it. After about 2 weeks of my computer exhaust fan doing the grindy thing, and if you tap on the back near the grill, the back of the computer, it would quiet up. So somehow on its little spindle, it was gyrating and vibrating
Off.
at an obtuse angle. Yeah, off somehow. And it was getting increasingly insistent at it. And my nerves were fraying more and more, and they weren't that good to begin with, honestly.
Oh,
Yeah. So for 2 weeks I put up with this, and I had taken that fan out of the computer before, both of them, and cleaned them off. Well, because I only have two and intake and exhaust. I don't have a Sinatra NASA computer with an entire bank of fans with their own fucking computer system to run their RPMs and whatnot. So anyway, previously having taken it out, it's there's no way to get inside of it. It's all kind of all encased in a replace it, buy another one, quit being a cheap bastard, go on Amazon or whatever, Micro Center, and get yourself some new fucking computer fans, right? And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. And around 5 a.m. yesterday morning, however the fuck you want to look at it, I had it. I was in Discord and I said, you know what? I'll be right back. And I wasn't back for an hour. I open up the side of my computer. I fucking go in there. I take the whole fucking, because it's not so much taking the 4 screws out that hold the fan in. It's the wiring that runs through to the other side to be able to fucking remove the thing from the power source.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if both ends were plug-in sockets, but, it's a permanent wire coming out of the fucking fan. You know what I mean? So I get that fucker out of there. And it's okay, I'm going to vacuum this bitch out. And then in a moment of man, spinning it, I can feel it, if you know what I mean. It's vibrating. It's yeah, there's the vibrational disharmonic pain that I've been putting up with for the last 2 weeks, fraying my nerve down to a frazzle. Again, they weren't that good to begin with. And so I'm being a little bit more manhandly with it than I would be in any other situation, if you know what I mean. And I just pull the fucking blades right out of the thing, the whole. And I'm like, oh, did I just break it? No, I didn't. It's on the spindle, the pin at the center, that it's the axis that it turns on was on a detent. I didn't know it had come off. Man, the grease in there that was put on at the Chinese factory by some small child had turned into a solid gummy substance.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I was like, okay, this isn't good. I don't know if that's the problem, but that's not good. So I wiped all that disgusting crap off. And then, Sin, I got out the good shit. My fucking rail white lithium grease from my beloved 1911 in SIG.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The best lubricant in the house. Go ahead, clip it. I
Yeah.
fucking double dog dare you. Do it.
It's a slippery slope, though.
So I pooped through a goose. I slid that shit on there. And
Get out of hand quickly.
what's that?
I said it could get out of hand quickly.
So I put it all back together, and after vacuuming it out, I'm like, well, I've got the computer open now. I might as well, and I've got the vacuum out, so I might as well go in there and de-dustify the whole thing and put it back in. So quiet, so nice.
Oh, dude, once you get that silence, man, you just it's
like that's why you hear me falling silent when you guys are talking, because it's just like there's nothing. It's so nice. Oh, I'm just loving it. It must be like what happens after your kids go to bed, Sin. You just kind of sit there.
Oh,
like,
dude. I told you that's my half hour before bed of nothingness.
Oh, let me tell you, don't cheap out with the Chinese industrial grease. Go for the good stuff. It's worth it in the end. That thing's probably spinning multiple RPMs faster just because of and I looked at it, and you know what the roughest part is? The sticker that's in the center of it. And there's a reason my computer's called Tron Vodka, because it has like Tron-like lights around the in that pale blue color, like the film Tron Legacy. And you could see the sticker in the center of the fan, and you can see it slowing down when it's making the heavy noises, like it's going and it's slowing down and it's slowing down, and it's like that's hard to look at. And then when you see it in there and it's just spinning and it's just a blur, oh, life is good. Okay, Darren Root's asking if anyone has a dog. It's probably time to start the snooze. What do you say?
That's the telltale sign.
Well, it's just, we have a dog. I'm tired of hearing about Polly's noob computer fucking epics.
He's hounding you for the news.
Yeah. All right, let's do the news then. We'll do it. Boom. Indiana Senate passes bill to legalize throwing stars. I had been waiting.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah. Oops. Fuck. All right, let's just try that again. Didn't realize I had the nuke button on, and I nuked the whole story. Okay, there we go. Oh, fuck. Under certain conditions only can you have throwing stars.
Yeah.
See, this is why I had... Okay, watch this, okay? This is what
I didn't know
you
they
gotta
were
be on
illegal.
They got to be on a leash or
Watch
something
this.
like that.
Boom. Goodbye. And again, boom. So it can't reload it. Fuck yeah. I love the nuke button. Okay. News sites piss me off. You guys got to fucking deal with that. Collecting stories for AAA, Noir Bar, whatever the fuck. Your fucking news channels with their autoplay news stories, and as soon as you scroll past the video, it automatically loads another one. So they're getting all these multiple views so they can say to their investors and the people that are advertising, oh, look how many hits and views we get a day. No, you don't. You lying cocksuckers. Those are all fucking autoplays. People just wanted to read the fucking sub-headline to see what the story is about before they leave, and 20 fucking stories are hit like people actually fucking read them. Bunch of lying ass shit. When the fuck was the last time you ever clicked on an advertisement from a news site to go buy some peppermint flavored heroin? Never. That's when.
Maybe for you.
Uh,
Peppermint flavored heroin?
yes.
Peppermint flavored heroin.
I mean, why not be fresh when you have no teeth?
It's the needle you want to share.
Throwing stars are currently illegal in Indiana, but the bill introduced by Linda Rogers.
Hey, can you guys fix this for me?
This is an ice cream shop.
Okay, can you guys fix this for me? And can I get a scoop of chocolate, please?
I love that he bought an actual gun to an ice cream shop for that video. That made my day. It's been a hot minute, too. Thank you, Gamer Valine, for the $14. If the facts... okay, just back off on that. I love it.
Take two.
Try and take that corner again. Gamer Valine, thank you for the $14. If the fan acts up again within 12 months, use a thinner lubricant, like the thin gun oil. It works great.
Here comes Valine with the actually.
Yeah. It works great when you have high dust or pollen content in the air. High dust, wouldn't you think that a thin oil attracted by gravity, down, would flow off of it? I put the rail grease on there specifically so it would stay in place. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah. You ever have to oil computer fans, guys? Ever? Or you just go buy new ones?
Oh, I wish.
Yeah, I've never had to do it.
You know, I have sincerely very little doubt that I've heard this of other streamers, and I think Sinatra in our midst, Drunkle, is one of these people. If we were to go over to his house, we'd find mics that are in boxes, unused, cables, high end, whatever, top of the line fucking wires that he's never taken out of the box. He intended to, but never did. Computer
As
components.
I look over at my Amazon cable.
Stacks of RAM that he bought but didn't realize he had already filled all of his PCI slots or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean?
I got the wrong one, so I didn't get a refund.
He did send them back. Just piling up.
Yeah.
Stuff in boxes like you wouldn't fucking
This would be
believe.
hilarious if my truck wasn't depending on a $500 refund that I might not even get.
Might be hilarious. It's fine. Fine. Okay, so where were we? Oh, yeah. Throwing stars are currently illegal, but Linda Rogers would lift the ban for recreational use. Throwing stars are allowed in other states. Yeah, this gets better and better, Sin. You're gonna love this. This. I did not realize how much Indiana was like Britain. It's like, we'll let you use it with the proper license. Senate Bill 77 actually came from a constituent who owns a putt-putt golf course called Ninja Golf. Nearly everyone that I spoke with said, hey, look, if I can throw axes, we can certainly throw throwing stars. Some say additional safety measures need to be considered since a throwing star is different from a throwing axe.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, yes, it is.
It's a double-edged sword, said Richard Deshane, co-owner of Ragnarok Axe Throwing LLC. All right. He said throwing star blades can get bent and hooked over, increasing someone's odds of getting cut. Unlike axes that have never been used to split skulls. Get this. I would say the easiest way to have any kind of solution is to require a layered Kevlar glove to be worn when they're throwing any object like a throwing star.
Fucking fun police.
Yeah. The bill does include some restrictions. It includes mostly restrictions, actually. Throwing stars would only be permitted at certain businesses, and children 12 to 17 could only throw stars with a parent's written permission. There are also requirements for fencing between the throwing lanes. So you have to go to a Ninja Star throwing lane that's been properly licensed and inspected by the state while wearing a multi-layered Kevlar glove with your parents standing over your fucking shoulder. What?
Yeah,
it's like, we're going to let you throw throwing stars, but you're not allowed to enjoy yourself.
Oh, I think they're having fun over on lane 3.
Stop them now. Someone's got a bent star.
Why did Representative Rogers here, State Senator Linda Rogers, why did you even bother? And the thing that kills me more than anything, the bill passed the state Senate with a vote of 48-1. Okay, who's the one? And what else was in the bill that you got 48 of the people to vote for it? Like pork barrel funding to increase their fucking per diem lunch fees?
There's something shoved in there somewhere that says that they each get an extra $30 an hour for their jobs or something.
I find it hard to believe that a state Senate would... Here's my cynicism on full display. Why would a state Senate in any state, I don't care how quote-unquote free it is, pass a law that's specifically to deregulate something for the general good of a small portion of constituents? It's like, well, it could be dangerous. Right. When was the last inner-city ninja starring drive-by that you know of?
You didn't hear about that ninja attack over in Youngstown?
No.
I didn't see it coming.
I did hear about an axe murder, though, so what's his name?
Yeah.
Richard Deshane, co-owner of Ragnarok Axe Throwing LLC, in your face. Not with a throwing axe.
Ninja stars were used. Ninja stars were used as a weapon in Japan forever. Axes have never been used as a weapon in any culture that is known for raping and pillaging.
Yes.
Well, I mean, anything's a weapon, isn't it? Really, like
Are you
the difference
eating?
between the difference between a tool and a weapon is how you use it. Like a hammer, very good tool, but also can be used for stoving someone's head in.
It's amazing how they were illegal before this. There are a shocking amount of specifically ninja-related weaponry that are by name prohibited in state laws. You guys have watched way too many 80s ninja movies and went to the legislature to create laws. Like, why are Manriki Gusari named in the state that I used to live in, specifically? That's... Why? How do you even know that name? What did you just look up ancient primitive ninja weapons and just start naming them off into a fucking bill that was signed off on because, well, we don't want kids with, you know, this chain thing with a scythe on one end and a weight on the other. Right. There's all those drive-by weighted chainings.
Ninja Star Golf, though. Like, I'm just saying.
Dude, the drive-by flailings on horseback are out of control.
I got nothing. It just reminds me of the British judge who, you know, insisted that all knives be blunted, that would be a good legislative effort going forward.
And also a great way to enjoy your steak or cook your food properly. Who doesn't like a mushy tomato?
He actually made, blunted on the end. The blade portion would still be sharp because, as he argued, from the bench, it's not slashing cuts that cause damage, but thrusting, penetrating stabs. Okay. You don't think that people are just going to
I don't even know what that means.
You don't think people are just going to resharpen blunted end blades if they're intent upon stabbing someone in the street, jackass?
That's why you outlaw knife sharpeners.
That's the big state thinking. I was watching.
Just give everybody double-handled knives, so there is no stabby bit.
It's like
everyone has to use paper cutters.
Have you ever seen a wheel axle trim? It kind of looks like...
Do
you know what I'm talking about? That's what came to mind when you said that. That's fucking hilarious. Like, you got nothing but...
One of those pizza cutters?
Yeah, axle shavers and wheel cutters. You know, all edge, no point. Like this stream.
Just like this show.
Yeah,
hey!
Yeah, up top. Woo!
You got it, man. Ow, fuck.
I'm sorry, I missed.
It hurt my poor arm.
I was watching Razor Fist Arcade on... I think it was on Friday, but I was watching on Saturday afternoon at some point. And you're going to get a kick out of this. At least I did. Razor Fist pauses the game by opening up the inventory screen or whatever and goes, you know what pisses me off about gun control? And I'm like, I mean, I've heard. What new thing could you possibly say? And he went on to say something new. He goes, think about this for a second. If you want to get a gun in prison, not the county jail, but full-on federal fucking prison, you can. Smuggled firearms are routinely confiscated from prisoners. And yeah, okay, they're charged with the offense of having one, but you think about it. What population is more secured, regulated, and under the watchful eyes of an authoritative structure where they are completely outnumbered in terms of the people watching them and the apparatus controlling them and their movements, and yet you can still smuggle firearms in there? What the fuck hope do you have for an open society? I am so tired of hearing about the regulations of guns we need to stop them from getting in the wrong hands. Nothing you propose can even stop guns from getting in an incarcerated person's hands, much less a free individual sitting in their home who's decided to go commit mass murder. I'm like,
well, my guess is that their bet is hinging on the fact that they have the ability to just randomly send people to your house. And, like, they can go through it when you're not home. They can do that in prison, too, but they just don't for some reason.
Yeah.
But they already have a registered list of people who own guns and have CCW permits and have filled out the FBI checklist and all that shit. So they know exactly who they're going for.
Frank Cap says, yeah, now we're going to hear about mass shootings in prisons. No, you wouldn't. I mean, I get the joke, but the single greatest connection between one mass shooting to another actually isn't the guns they choose. AR-15s, AR-15s. Yeah, okay, Piers Morgan, calm your tits. It's not, because, SIG MXCs, like in the fucking MCXs, rather, like in the Pulse nightclub shooting in Florida by the guy who was totally not a jihadi, but was a self-hating, closeted gay man who wanted to strike out against the homosexual community. That's why he killed them 50 party goers at that club.
Well, did you watch the State of the Union last night?
Yeah, I had some articles about it. We'll get into it, and Drunkle can hang back or something. I don't know.
He called a pistol an assault weapon.
Yeah. Well,
So
sure.
the definitions are just made up.
Absolutely. Weapons of war and whatnot. The thing that frightens me about that? Okay, well, you want to just skip ahead to the State of the Union shit?
Yeah.
All right.
An AR-15 can fire 100 rounds a second. According to some people.
Yeah. And it's a weapon of war that needs to be off our street and out of our communities, and other talking points that are used so often that they have lost all meaning.
I say give everyone an AR-15. Standard issue. You turn 18, you get given an AR-15. Bang, problem solved. Because ain't no one fucking around with an AR-15 when everyone else has got an AR-15.
You know what my actual opinion on that is? There would be some shootings real quick, and then everyone would get real polite real quick. There would be an initial there would be an initial burst of violence. Yes. Because
an armed society is a polite society.
You're fucking right.
Hell yeah.
You're fucking right it is. But there would need to be a few bodies before people caught the message. It's like, oh, I got an AR-15 now. I'm going to go fucking, settle some scores with some non-existent people that I've largely made up in my own mind.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
You'd have like a couple of purge nights, and then all of a sudden everyone's opening doors for everyone else.
It's like, Jesus Christ, that fucking Wallflower Poindexter can shoot back now? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been playing Call of Duty for 7 years, mate. He's got aim. He knows what he's doing.
He turned off the auto-aim feature some time ago.
He got fucking 360 no-scoped by a fucking 9-year-old.
I got nothing on that. But let's talk about the things that piss me off about this, okay?
Okay.
Fentanyl comes up. Border Patrol chiefs acknowledge that enough fentanyl was seized at the border so far this year to kill the U.S. population 5 times over. And more migrants are coming because they think policies are more, quote, open under Biden. Huh. Now, did Joe Biden talk about fentanyl last night? He did. He also talked about the border in the vaguest, most distanced of terms. Did he connect the two? See, that should be the shit at the border. I'm claiming asylum.
Yeah.
Where are you from? El Salvador? No. Nearest friendly state was Mexico. You're going back. Like it.
Dios mío.
Zed, thank you for the $3. I think that in a country with a right to weapons, the fact that there isn't a mandatory weapon education safety class in schools is absurd.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, good point. I like that.
Zed, you got the... Yeah. I mean, back in the day, there was things instituted that were awesome, like federal marksmanship programs and the Boy Scouts where you shot 22s and all sorts of things in normal civil society that were common as hell and voluntary.
And also increase safety knowledge and stuff like that.
Yeah. Bookworm Addict, Wyatt, Polydub, Earp. Well, Wyatt Earp was actually a huge gun control nut. Everywhere he went to institute law enforcement when he came in as a marshal. No, never marshal. He was a sheriff. Yeah, one of his first things to do was institute a city ordinance on no guns. There were no guns allowed in Tombstone. Except for him, of course. Because it gives you a good justification to buffalo somebody when you spot him drunk with a gun. Or just with a gun. Because he was getting paid by arrest, not on salary. So,
This fun fact, Doc Holliday, not actually a doctor.
Of a sort he was.
Well, yeah, in the same way that fucking Jill Biden.
What's that? I'm sorry, you went all warbly there.
Yeah, I get a fucking micro stutter. In the same way that Jill Biden is a doctor.
I would actually rather go to Doc Holliday for dentistry than Jill Biden for Oh,
anything.
yeah. I was just trying to think, like, what would you go to a doctor of education for to help you create a syllabus for something? No, I can do that myself. Thank you, Jill.
Yeah. We don't need her, Polly. We don't need her.
No.
But we've all got teeth.
That's right.
Well, some of us do.
Yeah, I mean, some of us have lots of teeth.
Most people have a
yeah.
couple.
Bumping up
Yeah,
against each
one or
other,
two.
going in every which direction. And NHS offering us very little in terms of dental care.
I mean, what's the average amount of teeth? Look,
32.
the average amount of legs is actually less than 2.
How do you figure that?
Well, it's the average, isn't it? And there's people who've only got 1 leg.
Automatically
Average
pulls
down.
it down
It's-
to how many people
it's
have
less than
3.
2.
You've got a good point. Yeah, it's gonna be 1.99999. That's you bastard. You're technically correct, which is unfortunately even you, the very best kind of correct.
Very best kind of
Yeah.
correct.
Again, State of the Union address. I mean, Sin, you feel like I do about fentanyl, in terms of the. You don't want to overlooking. I was just about to say oversight, but no, that implies like responsible looking into a thing, just refusing to even look at it, willful blindness of the thing. 100,000 drug overdoses, with 3/4 of them being opioid related. And they're constantly bitching about gun control, and which Biden did during his speech, bring up fucking gun control. Of fucking course he did. And it really, why? Because look at the 34,000 gun deaths is the number always mentioned, ignoring, of course, 60% of those are suicides. Okay, fine. Let's just go with 34,000. Why don't you care about the 3 times that number that are dying from opioid-related overdoses? Keeping in mind, of course, that doesn't count for the people that are... Yahoo! You
Yeah.
son of a bitch. Kefki, thank you for the $5, and she says nothing, but Kefki doesn't need to, because she's just awesome on her own. Yahoo! And thank you, C. Thomas, for the $3 and the pepper spray into the little bastard's face that had it coming for one reason or another. We should only follow the Constitution, only allow muskets. Private citizens don't need weapons of war. Me, an intellectual, what do you think the fucking founding fathers fought a war with, dumbass? Yeah. You know, like... No, I won't get into that. I've already sidetracked enough.
Yeah.
This. We don't need weapons of war. And then they try the corralling of it off into hunting. Deer don't wear Kevlar and so forth. If I was only worried about Kevlar vests, I wouldn't be worried at all. Because most rifle rounds, even 5.56 with full metal jacket, will tear a fucking vest up like it wasn't there.
Yeah, it's such a pointless talking point, but he says stuff that his uneducated base wants to hear. That's ultimately what it comes down to.
It is especially that public policy could be boiled down to trite little sayings. Off our streets, out of our community, weapons of war, can't use it for hunting. Like, all of those can fit on a slip of paper that can go inside a fortune cookie.
Ho, ho.
Yeah.
Assault weapons have got to go.
You know the assault weapon thing? I mean, this is a side note. That doesn't even exist. You know what? The unfortunate truth is, they do. Well, it's not legally defined. Unfortunately, it was. And that isn't me trying to be an actually person. It's a... Let's be aware of why they're constantly talking about reinstating the assault weapons bill, the Assault Weapons Act, part of the larger crime bill of 1994, because it does legally define an assault weapon. Frighteningly so. Any semi-automatic centerfire, shoulderable weapon that has a detachable box magazine and is capable of firing in semi-automatic, plus with any, and I forget how it reads, any 2 of the following 7 features, something to that effect. Freedom is what they want to stop. That's right. And the features, Sin, are the hilarious things. A barrel shroud, a bayonet lug to stop all those inner-city bayonetings.
It's the most catch-all shit you've ever heard.
Yeah. And so it's like, well, it died because of a sunset clause and went out of effect in 2004 after 10 years. Brilliant. It did. You're not wrong. But the point is that the precedent has been established. Is there a precedent in U.S. law for something called an assault weapon? Yes. Can you just simply call something an assault weapon and reference that sunsetted bill? Yes, because it was the law, and it did pass constitutional muster at the time that it was passed. So, you know.
Most likely would not pass again now, but I've gotten in arguments on Twitter. I'm like, assault weapons aren't real. And of course, someone, well, yeah, they are. Okay, what are they? Anything with a detachable magazine? Okay, so just every weapon?
Yeah. You don't, and the last thing I want is them updating their definition of an assault weapon. Going, well, this was the old one, but, we need an evergreening thing that allows for all of the gun manufacturers to not allow them to slip things under the radar into our communities. Always the scare tactic language. All right. I mean, just like fentanyl is regulated up the ass. I wouldn't even know where to go get fentanyl. Unless, of course, I was buying cocaine or Molly, in which case I probably already did buy fentanyl. Anyway.
Yeah. Or weed.
I would, or weed. I would never know where to go get fentanyl, but I'm sure if I tried to find it, I probably could by asking around.
I think you could just go to your doctor for it.
Well, my doctor's kind of a prude. He doesn't allow me any of the fun drugs. Percocet. For you? Nah. Try some Tylenol.
Well, from what I understand, it's not very fun.
What? Fentanyl?
Fentanyl.
No, well, in the right amounts. I mean, dying off of anything isn't fun, sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're a fucking smack addict that's got a fucking tolerance for opioids, I'm sure you can have a good time with it before you pass out for the next 2 days. My point with it, though, is that something that's that regulated as fentanyl makes it across the border in massive large amounts, is illegally prescribed by doctors through pain clinics at huge amounts, but most of it illegally brought in, manufactured in China, brought across the southwest border. Okay. What makes you think that that isn't a more serious health threat than assault weapons? Well, because you don't see villains in movies throwing pills at each other and blowing brains out doing so.
Yeah.
Anyway, Drunkle, how do you feel?
Kind of sore.
Like you could use some fentanyl?
Possibly. I don't know. I mean, with Sinatra there, it doesn't seem like a very fun drug.
Yeah,
dying doesn't seem fun, unless it's by Snoo Snoo.
No. Pelvis crushings aren't fun, no matter how it's happening.
Well, the thing is, like, fentanyl it should be a hot issue at the moment, or just generally, but firearms is, it's the talking point and has been for a very, very long time when it comes to Republicans, Democrats, fucking NRA, Michael Moore. No one's really doing anyone any favors as well. I mean, because the argument is that, if you get rid of and you can't get rid of firearms in America, it's too deeply ingrained. So it will be a case of it's only going to be bad guys with guns, which means, you do need good guys with guns. However, that argument, despite being completely correct, has been used so many times that it's become a meme in itself, and is therefore no longer taken seriously. Even though we have seen it. There was what was it? Fucking someone, was it in a church or something like that? Someone fucking started opening fire.
More
and it was
than
just
one.
an old guy, bang,
Yeah.
one shot, and the guy was down. Like fucking some old fucking cowboy with a moustache that Madonna would envy. One shot from across the aisle. Like absolute fucking legend.
Hold on.
But
Hold
there's
on.
like
A
these
mustache
stories.
Madonna would envy?
Yeah, because she's old.
There's a reason why those stories aren't talked about too much, though, is because it makes the gun stuff look good.
Yeah, and you don't want that. And I'm sure you've
Exactly.
read the stats enough times, the FBI estimates of 1.5 to 2 million non-violent uses of firearms to protect life, liberty, and property. Well, they never say liberty, life and property.
Like cracking walnuts, that kind of thing.
No, get the fuck out of my house. Yo, shit, man, all right. It's okay. You just saved your belongings and possibly your life, or at least your health, and that of your family. Well done. And you didn't even fire a shot. Now, does that make the news? No, you just scared someone off.
Guns are the great equalizer, and more and more, I think the Democrats don't actually want people to be equal.
There you go.
It says a lot when something that is purely defensive, like Kevlar vests, for example. I mean, I guess you technically could smother someone or maybe beat them to death with a Kevlar vest. It'd take a long time.
Oh, yeah.
you know?
I've got a level 4 plate thing. You could beat someone with that.
You got the plates? Yeah, that'll do it. But I was talking
My,
like pure flexi armor, if you know what I mean, just for handgun rounds and nothing else.
My buddy was on the SWAT team and he quit and he needed some money to move. He's like, oh, I'm trying to sell this. I said, oh, no shit. What are you asking for? Thinking he's going to be like, oh, probably $1,000 because it's the full thing.
God damn.
It's like, I don't know, $200. I'm like, okay, I'll be right over. This is like a couple of years ago, but I was like, fuck yeah, I'll be right there, man.
Cash only, yeah? Yeah. Right.
Bugs the shit out of me because the language is given is that we want we want our community safe, and we don't want.
We need more guns.
No, with the vests, we don't want anybody having bullet resistant armor of any kind, because that's just going to encourage gangbanging and whatnot, because they're going to be able to take hits, and it's like, yeah, okay. You mean when the police shoot people, you want them to die? I don't believe for a second that it's about protecting citizens from each other. It's about not being able to protect yourself when police shoot you. It's
There we go.
It's such a big talking point as well. It has been for so long. But then, you know, what do these things get used for? You're laying a load of other things into this bill as well. So when, you know, it's, we're going to give ourselves a fucking 200% pay rise or something like that, or we're going to show fucking poor. That always end up on the back of the bill. And then when someone with any fucking modicum of common sense goes, no, what the fuck? Look at what you've added to it. They go, oh, see? He wants to kill people. He loves guns. Yeah. It's such a dirty, dirty game.
As soon as you've added the word comprehensive to any legislative effort, I've signed off. What we need is comprehensive gun reform. What we need is comprehensive immigration reform. So let me see if I get this straight. In dealing with the border, specifically with smuggling at non-crossing points, we're not talking about regulating trade that's going across crossing points and actual ports of entry. You know what I mean? Just at the illegal crossing sections where you can't legally cross in any way. That's what that bill deals with, and the response to that is, no. What we need is comprehensive immigration reform where we deal with people who overstay their visas as well. And this, and the State Department, and dealing with asylum claims from not just Mexico, but overseas. And you want to handle all of it in a fucking 1,400-page bill that no one's going to be able to read, that you can slip in, like you said, Drunkle, how many fucking spending packages for bridges that go nowhere? And as soon as somebody says comprehensive or omnibus, sign off. Fuck you. You want to bury this thing and not have anything happen.
Omnibus is the only way to get anything passed anymore.
Yeah. Well, if there was a change in mentality, and it's happened before, a giant sea change in thinking, where some things are just not tenable to attempt to do. It is simply not tenable to investigate people for communist affiliation. Why? It ran on for years and years and years in the Senate. I mean, Senator McCarthy was an extremely powerful man with a wide latitude of investigative powers. Unbelievable. Okay, but then it became like, no, that it would be unthinkable to do that today. Why? Well, times have changed. I hear you. Times do change. Passing giant bills that nobody can fucking read to the tune of trillions of fucking dollars is simply not doable, because it just screams like a neon sign at midnight. Corruption!
Well, if you remember back when Trump was trying to get the what was it? The stimulus package passed, and they kept trying to do it in an omnibus bill. And he said, how about you just put something in front of me that is for $2,000 for every single person? And they said, no, we can't do that. It's like they have to sneak stuff in for themselves.
Yep. Because why? That's why I found the throwing star legislation so unbelievable. It's like, why would you attempt to pass something that just loosens up regulations on your constituents? And that's it. That's all it does. Why the fuck would 48 people out of 49 choose to get on board with this? What's in it for them? That's the level of cynicism I have about politicians.
That is the correct level of cynicism to have.
it still blows me away that they even signed that fucking Ninja Star thing. Why? T. Thomas, thank you for the $3. If it were up to me, private citizens would be allowed to have automatic, anti-tank, anti-air weapons because fuck DC, and your budget should be the limit. Hyper-free economy.
I mean, that's fair.
An argument to be made for that. I mean, I wouldn't go trespassing if I believed that there were the strong possibility of landmines being in that guy's backyard.
Well, the other thing you have to
Quite
think
the
about,
deterrent.
the other thing you have to think about with it is by putting forward anti-gun legislation, essentially what they're doing is protecting their constituents. Not outwardly saying it, but that's what they're doing because they know their constituents are people who would be the ones to be on the wrong side of a self-defense situation.
Wow. So, wait a minute. Are you saying their constituents are the criminals?
That is exactly what I'm saying.
I thought that's what you were saying. It's like, well, you just kind of slipped it in there like a fucking pork barrel in an omnibus bill.
But I think we all know that's the truth of it.
Yeah. Looney Lenny, thank you for the $1. I mean, what do the politicians think are keeping the countries from invading us? It's the fact that we have a fuck ton of guns. You know, everybody says that Hitler refused to invade Switzerland because of the mountainous regions and whatnot. I say no. I think he thought he was going to have a fucking gunfight at every farmhouse.
Which is what you would have here. You want to see Americans as a whole, you know, sans the, like, okay, let's just say, for example, China was going to invade us, except for like the Hassan Pikers and the Voshes and those ilk.
Yeah.
Like, our liberators are finally here. I get to finally live my dream as being a policy writer, knowing damn well you're going to be sent to the mines. But sans them and their ilk, you want to see America unite like never before, have a greater threat come. You'd see gangbangers and alt-righters tossing mags back and forth to take down the Chinese war machine like you never imagined.
Well, you would think, I hear the point you're making, and one would think that something like, oh, I don't know, say a Chinese spy balloon floating over the country would kind of be like a uniting thing, as you said. We have beyond, we've got third rails and fifth columns in this country like nobody's fucking business. And same with you, Drunkle. You've got people that are well-intentioned and, if allowed into power and enacting the policies they wanted, yeah, that'd be the end of England.
You know why it wasn't a uniter? Because it wasn't an imminent threat, and the media immediately started lying about it.
Like suspected Chinese spy balloon from BBC? Suspected.
Yeah.
They admit.
Yeah.
They said, don't get excited about it. Calm down, America. It was actually a weather balloon, but it was suspected as coming from China. What?
I mean, China admitted to it.
Yeah. I mean, what more do you need,
Shooting
BBC?
it down was an overreaction. And they've recently said, can we have it back, please?
Yeah. Did you ever see that? I pulled this up just to look at the size of the fucking thing and its comparisons. High altitude surveillance balloons, instruments, solar panels. It's the size of a freighter aircraft, commercial airliner.
That thing is fucking huge.
Yeah. Which makes what's her name's tweet about her sitting in a field with a shotgun saying, you know, Carrie Lake, you want me to? I understand we got a balloon problem here. I was not following its actual height or size. It's
Yeah, not really the kind of information you're after, is it? You know, Chinese surveillance balloon says it all, really. They go, oh, look, it was 200 feet tall. I don't care.
It is definitely outside of my range of giving a fuck. Like, the actual size of it is interesting from a technical, nerdy IR standpoint, if you know what I mean. But in terms of why, the point of why didn't you do something about it, violation of our airspace, national sovereignty, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, would you, Biden, not be bent out of shape if Russia were sending fucking spy balloons and whatnot over Ukraine? Of course he would. Because that's what he was elected president to do, right? Protect the democracy that's actually not a democracy. It's a one-party totalitarian state now. under the rule of a fucking international fucking hustler. That's what he
You
was.
know it.
Yeah, he was elected to protect the national sovereignty of that place. I mean, dereliction of
National
duty?
sovereignty matters over there.
Did you hear the passing way that Biden referred to that balloon issue? I shouldn't even call it an issue. That's he just near the beginning of the State of the Union address. He's kind of, over recent happenings. I mean, I get the British. I do when they call.
Like big drums.
Awesome. You tell Steve Dave, thank you for the $10. I found my fucker blaster and I fixed it. I know this ain't $1.99, but I was late to the AAA today, so get off your lazy asses, smash that like button, or become the consistency of ground beef, fuckers. Now he's just threatening to murder them. Powderize them. Or beef chunk them. But in any case, yeah, I get the British when they refer to everything that went on with Ireland, blowing up royals, car bombs, urban warfare as the Troubles. That's a very British thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't mean that insultingly.
Overly
It's
British.
just- yeah, it's
No, it is. Yeah.
because if you're a fellow Brit, I'm sure you understand that as being right. You know what I mean? Like
it's like referring to World War II as a light scuffle.
the to-do with Germany. No, the second one.
Yeah, there was a whole the light scuffle following the the brouhaha.
Or the thing I'm still misreading in
bit of
news
a bee in
headlines.
his
The
bonnet.
wow.
Heroin. Peppermint flavored heroin.
Did you see Sarah Huckabee Sanders' response to the State of the Union?
I did, and I have to
That
say,
was-
I did not like how it started off. I'm like, really? This is the direction you're going? I shut the fuck up about that shit after like 60 seconds, man. It was great.
It was good for like a minute and a half, and then she just started going off about, her and Trump went to the Middle East, and it's like, okay, so what do you have to say about what Biden just said? Or are we just hearing stories?
All of it was designed for a given impact, in my opinion. Like looking at her response, right, was very.
I think it fell way off the mark.
Yeah. Well, okay, real quick before we get into that, C. Thomas, thank you for the 375. With the way Biden is in the CCP's pocket and the amount of fuckery China is up to, I think we might be in the fallout timeline, just lacking the correct amount of love of country. It's a frightening prospect. You think it fell way off? I think certain lines hit where at 40, I am the youngest governor in the country, where Joe Biden is the oldest president in American history. This is how out of touch. She's not making a claim of like, that's a fucking houseplant, although that's the direct implication. It's more of again, all of her statements were designed for a given impact, following not anything that he wants, because I don't believe that he actually wants these things, she says, but falling to what the woke mob wants, which is not what the majority of Americans want. Right. Again, I
don't know. I just don't think it hit the mark. I think what she should have focused on is what Republicans are going to try to do to go up against the horseshit Biden said. And yes, she just told story after story after story. And I was like, okay, so what is your plan? What are you doing?
I agree. It could have been stronger. I think it's difficult to do a response that's only going to measure some 15 to 20 minutes to a president that got to do all the pageantry that is unfortunately become a part of State of the Union addresses now. Sadly.
That's just my take. I was nigh impressed.
I don't think anything would have lived up to what I would have wanted to have seen. If we look at I grabbed this article when I was over at BBC because it does a good job of summing up some of the takeaways. I'm not saying these are the best takeaways, but instead of like watching clip after clip of the State of the Union address, it was American first, foreign policy last. I think that is why she was telling stories, because it's like, what has Biden done? Failure. is the idea. It's like when we were in power, this is what we did. With the implication, and I hear you, it fell short, I agree, but the implication being this is what happens when Republicans are in power as compared to the houseplant that you have right now. He's ancient, no energy, following a woke mob, and the only international affairs that he is involved in is knuckling under to China, funding a foreign war to the detriment of the fucking country. And then when he actually goes to do something that's in the interests of America, like negotiate with a number of OPEC stakeholders for better oil deals, they send him packing, and he comes back depressed with nothing. Like, this wasn't his Secretary of State that he sent over. This was him. And what happened? Saudi Arabia signed a deal with China, ending the U.S. petrodollar. Great. Fucking great.
Because our dollar wasn't doing so great beforehand, you might as well just kick it while it's down.
Right. So it's
weird how we didn't bring that part up, though, huh?
Yeah, it was America first, foreign policy last, and the way that they read it here, here's his statement. And we made it clear last week, if China threatens our sovereignty, we will act to protect our country. And we did. After it became a huge thing on fucking social media, because that's the only way apparently anymore that anything gets noticed by politicians is the amount of Twitter traction that it gains. It's a sad fucking state of affairs. We made it clear to China. So don't mention a balloon. Don't mention China threatens our sovereignty. You did something. Claimed that you couldn't do anything. That it was unreachable, which was obviously a lie. And then claimed, well, no, we can do something, but we don't want any civilian casualties or property damage. So we're not willing to do anything. And then when it became, wow, we're looking like ridiculous, powerless, dickless fools here. Right, you are. Well, okay, it's over the ocean now. We might as well shoot it down. Oh, so demonstrating that the first thing you said was a ball of lies, that you simply didn't have the capacity to strike it. Why that isn't Jean-Pierre's the yoke around her neck for the next 2 weeks, I don't know. Why did your DOD spokesman lie? And what censure is coming at them for doing so? Is that what the president was told? That there was a lack of capacity to strike at that balloon? Because if balloons are that fucking effective and capable, why did anyone ever develop rocketry or satellite technology for espionage?
That's true.
Oh, we just can't get to them. But you did, so you're a fucking liar. Oh, well, it might have caused damage. Are you fucking kidding me?
I can't... Damage to what? It was over, like, a literal sea of grass, and they were just like, okay. I guarantee you it's because after it got over the ocean, they're like, okay, they must have gotten what they needed. There was some payout there somewhere. And I refuse... actually, I just outright reject the idea that the people going after Hunter Biden's art sale records, that's no coincidence. They were like, if you're going after the art sale records, we're sending over this balloon so we could get a look at your air bases.
Yeah. And there was, by the way, one thing that was insanely annoying to hear is, I was out in the middle over nowhere. Who cares if they're spying on cornfields? Okay, let's say that they only were spying on cornfields, or that's the only thing that they could get. I don't care. That's American soil. So go fuck yourself with that bullshit. Your fucking fifth column
sovereignty meets the air too.
It does. And all of the land. There are no insignificant portions of your sovereign country, moron. You wouldn't accept someone walking into your house and sitting down on a fucking rickety chair you never sit on. It would be like, get the fuck out of my house. What are you doing? Oh, come on. You never sit in this chair.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, what the hell's that got to do with anything? Get the fuck out of here.
It's ridiculous. And then they just shit out 3 balloons. Like, oh, well, it happened under Trump 3 times and he did nothing. Like, okay, so not only has literally everybody denied that this happened, but even if it had been the case, CNN and MSNBC would be all over going, look what Trump, he's soft on national policy. He doesn't care about us.
And we talked about this on Monday, and Drunkle's frustration with hearing it, the whataboutism. Like, can you if it's not a laughable point, and I don't mean frustrated, where Deucey says some like, well, where do you really, and puts one of his admittedly epic zingers in there. See, that's the way Jean-Pierre should feel. Like she just got hit in the fucking face with pepper spray.
I agree.
When you say, oh well, the Trump administration, and everyone in the room laughs. It's past the point of anger to the point of pointing and laughing. Nothing is so damaging as ridicule. Much more so than criticism.
Be the only response.
Yeah,
is just laughing.
That the whole room full of reporters doesn't break out laughing when she starts talking about the previous administration at this point, with as many things have been lumped off on them. Okay, let's quickly go through it. Finish the job on economy. I can't believe that somebody who's a president governing over the current economy would make the claims that Joe Biden did last night. Oh, really? the job counts are up. Are they?
What do you say? 800,000 jobs?
These are people that you didn't even bother to adjust for people returning to the workforce that haven't been working since COVID, did you? These are not new jobs that were created. You know, the sign of a healthy economy. Or a rebounding economy, rather. These are people returning to work that were perfectly capable of work, that were happy to live off the tit that you flopped out.
I'm going to steal a line from Scribe here. It's not created, it's reclaimed.
Yeah. Which is not rebounding. It's simply a minor modicum of basically irrelevant recovery considering the state of things. Go say librarian, thank you for the $3. Out in the middle of nowhere is where we keep our nuclears. I know.
Let's do this.
Where we keep the nuclear silos, the air bases, the God knows what the fuck else. And I heard people respond to that. The silos where? Go ahead and prove that. Are you actually expecting someone to publish, especially from the federal government, online, where the second strike capability rockets are kept? You moron? Yeah, there's 2 sites, one and then a backup redundant one in Nebraska. They're not going to give you fucking GPS coordinates, retard. Because
that's what they expect.
I mean, that's the kind of thing that foreign adversaries are very, very interested in. No, go
where can we hit so they can't hit us back?
Yeah. Those are the kind of critical things that foreign intelligence services are willing to pay tens of millions of dollars to fucking find out, and have in the past. C. Thomas, thank you for the $1. What Sin just said about the retarded whataboutism. If this 3 balloon shit was true, then the media, to this day, would never shut the fuck up about it.
I mean, they're literally not shutting the fuck up about it right now, but they just made it up like a week ago, so.
Yeah, give them time to not shut the fuck up about it, C. Thomas. They'll repeat it enough. It's fine. Especially when their minions and bots out on social media repeat it enough for them. They're waiting for it to steep throughout the Twitter sphere. Gamer Valine, thank you for the 1050. The balloon is something I would talk more in depth about off stream, as there are a couple of things that I'm not going to blab about, even though it's not classified if anyone is interested. She just actually'd us, but then said, no, I won't. He's adorable. So yeah, the economy's great. Biden tried to play nice with Republicans. Yeah, how'd that work out for him? Really? He tried to play nice with Republicans? Yeah, how'd that go when you
must be where he's accusing them of wanting to cut Social Security and Medicaid.
Mm-hmm.
Or was saying that they're a bunch of extremists who try to overthrow democracy, which we aren't even a democracy, but it must have been somewhere in there, right?
The amount of times during that little exchange back and forth with the booing where he's like, well, I'm not saying it's boo, boo, all of you, but some of you, I can show you the wow.
He really tried to get away with it too, but whoever was booing just wasn't having it.
I mean, and it's descended to the point where I'm still very much of the opinion that saying Barack Obama, when he's giving a State of the Union address, and he says that this money will not be used for healthcare for illegal aliens, and somebody in an uncontrolled moment of stupidity, I forget the fool's name, yells out, "Liar!" Way beyond the pale, man. Not cool. No more cool than it is for Green to yell out "liar" at Biden. This is not British Parliament or Australian Parliament where they yell "cunt" at each other. We're pounding your desk and rowing is okay.
Italian is where it's at. Fucking hell. But then if you look at, if I get Reddit or Twitter or any kind of social media, people are fucking losing their minds over it. You'd think she fucking shouted out a racial slur or something like that. But then they're also so fucking quick to forget, they go, "Oh, this is just not very becoming of, people in positions of leadership," completely forgetting about fucking Pelosi tearing up Trump's State of the Union speech.
Yeah, I saw the comment on the House Speaker, McCarthy, sitting there and shaking his head in dismay, and people on Twitter and on YouTube, so social media in general, go, "That was a disgusting display. He's supposed to be part of the federal government. He's third in power and third in line in charge. What the hell?" He shook his head. Nancy Pelosi actually tore up the State of the Union speech in a pathetic display of "I'm not accepting." Like, really, what was in there that was so insulting?
It was petulant, but she was on the right side, though, Sinatra. It's different with a fucking D. When she did it, it was "Yas, Queen, slay."
So Joe Wilson, thank you, Avicus. Joe Wilson is who yelled at Obama, and he was stupid for doing so. I mean, that's ugly as fuck, and it's beyond the point now of saying, "Well, that shouldn't be going on," because the trend has been set, so it's just going to get worse and worse. The pageantry of both. Admittedly, Ronald Reagan was the one who started this. "Up in the balcony, I've invited this person to morally grandstand over all of you, because if you disagree with me, that means you're telling this child who was shot or this person who recovered from this horrible disease is bad." Because they're standing up there now. And so now every single fucking president has to invite a parade of people that you couldn't possibly disagree with.
Fuck it out.
Or you're obligated to applaud for fuck's sake, Donkey Punch Bandit. But thank you for the $5. Why did I rank the fucking gain on that so much?
Right?
Jesus, I can't get mad at anyone but myself, but I'm still mad. Did you see when Biden signed an executive order to funnel Social Security to Ukrainians? Talk about trying to get the goad of the opposition into cutting SS to use it as an accusatory cudgel. Well said. Fucking hell.
And okay, I'm gonna go a step further than that. I have recently learned of a way where you can opt out of paying for Social Security as a taxpayer. But as you opt out of it, it means you will not get it when you're older, which I think is fine because none of us are going to get it anyway. It's going to be gone by then.
Yeah. All right, let's have some fun before Sinatra needs to go.
Okay.
In Moscow, a man tried to steal Lenin's body.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Didn't you know there's no personal property and that belongs to the people?
Are you going to sneak it out like Weekend at Bernie's style?
He was drunk out of his fucking mind. In the capital of the Russian Federation, a drunken man, imagine that, a drunken Russian, tried to steal the body of Vladimir Lenin in the mausoleum. It's so creepy and weird.
Do we want to know what he was going to do with it?
That's a good point.
Invoke some communism.
And I mean, I'm not the first one to point this out, but I do love the point. They don't have saints. You know what I mean? In the heroes of their country. They don't have people that, like, Lenin didn't fight a war. Lenin was actually, here's some ideas that I want to propagate on behalf of a idiotic political philosopher, which is to compliment him unjustly, namely Marx. And then he himself ends up, as a victim of the system that he helped to create. And then they're going to fucking trumpet this person and lionize him. Yahoo! God, that thing's suppressed. What the fuck? They don't have saints, so who do they put on display? Lame political leaders. You know what's going to happen, Sin, if the fucking progressives ever took over, what that strange timeline would look like? Ta-Nehisi Coates' body would be on public fucking display as a hero. That's true. Think about it. You know what? You know what? Fuck you. Donated $5 on Here's Your Hearing. Yeah. Yeah, I turned the volume down after the last one. It still scared the fuck out of me. Thank you anyway. Moving along. There it is. Rainbow Tower removed from playground after parents claim it's satanic.
Can we see?
I just don't understand it.
You can't see it?
No, I can see it.
No, it didn't change for me for some reason. It has now. Okay.
So there's the tower.
Yeah.
And they're not putting it up with it in Uganda. That's where it happened.
No.
Yeah. Apparently they're based in Uganda. Rainbow-colored tower was removed from a children's playground in Uganda after parents complained about its supposed pro-LGBTQ plus symbolism. We consider this as like the beginning of a global watershed where people have fucking had it with rainbows everywhere all the fucking time, and the only people still putting them up are pathetically behind the curve Western liberal democracies attempting to appeal to a fucking woke super minority mob that's attempting to moralize them into going along with everything.
They have co-opted the rainbow.
Yeah.
I mean, they have.
Like, can you
There's
blame
no
the
doubt about
Ugandans for
that,
okay, not satanic, but whatever the fuck? Like, can you blame them for thinking the rainbow is some pro-LGBT shit? No, I can't blame them. Actually,
It fucking is.
When you look at a rainbow, you don't think lifesavers or anything else. You know what I mean? You automatically think the gay. Tell me you don't. Of course you do.
There's a nightclub at the end of that rainbow. You know.
It's not good. It's not good. Okay. Haddonfield man admits to hiring hitman to kill his 14-year-old.
He couldn't do it himself. He's 14.
Yeah, he doesn't have any self-defense skills.
Well,
how small is that gavel?
Oh, it's a tiny little fucking, you know.
That is funny.
Isn't that adorable? It's from Shutterstock.
What's it for? I want one. I'm going to go on Shutterstock right now and order one.
Unfortunately, they don't sell the cool things that they get for their photographic work. Sad. Yeah, 20 grand in Bitcoin.
For tiny courtrooms. Small claims court.
I mean, if you were on camera, it would be pretty awesome to have a fucking little miniature gavel. Wow, what?
Yeah.
I've got one.
Order in the car.
So yeah, he paid 20 grand in Bitcoin in a murder for hire scheme, went on the dark web to hire someone. He started threatening the guy after the kid wasn't dead. It's like, I hired you to murder someone. And the guy on the dark web openly tells him to fuck off. This was a scam. Leave me alone or I'll contact the authorities.
Fuck.
I got to get on the dark web and start offering assassination talents.
That's why you always get a receipt.
But that's just it. You're hiring someone to do something illegal. It's like, yeah, fuck off. It's like, I'm willing to take, first of all, you paid me in Bitcoin, which means that it's like fucking peered into a blockchain somewhere into a wallet that only I have access to. It's not like it's money that could be taken from me by the government, if you know what I mean. I'm willing to risk a fraud charge. Are you willing to risk a murder for hire plot? No, you aren't. So go to hell.
We're all accepting risk here.
It's true.
The 14-year-old that John Michael Mushbuck, he pleaded guilty on charging him with interstate commerce, the use of interstate commerce, the internet, for the commission of a murder for hire charge, says a U.S. attorney. So yeah, he's looking at bad times. So why do you want to kill the 14-year-old? Because he's going to witness against him because he groomed the kid online when he was 13 and they were sending naked pictures back and forth between each other. And he's been charged with, corruption of a minor, possession of child pornography, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So to stop this kid from testifying against him at trial, he tries to hire a fucking assassin on the dark web. Well done, buddy. Well fucking done. No, nothing? I don't know. I thought it was a spectacular failure that was worth a laugh.
No, sorry, my Discord had to restart for some reason.
That's fine. Okay, here's something you'll find exciting. Time traveler from 2858 claims Area 51 will create the world's first centaur.
I'm sure we've already had those.
I love
Yeah,
the Daily
right.
Star.
I mean, the myth comes from somewhere, right?
Do you believe that there were... Well, if it did come from somewhere, that would pull the average way up for the average number of legs.
Oh
That's
my
true.
God.
So, you don't want it to be true, Drunkle, lest your point be rendered false.
No, I'd prefer to have centaurs.
What?
I'll take the L.
What? Why do you want centaurs? Are you...
They're cool.
Have you
It
been
opens up the doors to the many, many more possibilities. If centaurs are real, then like, let's talk goblins. Do you know what I mean?
Do you just want to meet a girl centaur? Is that it?
I want to meet the opposite. I want a man with a horse's upper body.
Fair enough. Wait,
I just think it'd be cool.
gross. Yeah, that's one response. I think they never fucking fail, personally. Made cold snap, frozen shark discovered on Cape Cod Beach. I think this is funny.
Oh no.
Yeah, there it is.
That is frozen as fuck, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just,
Don't eat it.
no.
Don't eat it, right?
I
Yeah,
don't
you get
care if you
arrested.
got it from the internet in China. It's don't eat
Yeah.
it.
If you're gonna eat it, don't make a TikTok about it.
There's a number of callbacks in this stream. When I saw this, I'm like, wow, this makes me think about, yeah. That's probably where they got the fucking shark from that they're selling online. Just frozen, stuck to
From
beaches.
the water.
Yeah.
It's preserved.
No, it's kind of deflated and partially not fossilized, but beef shark jerkied at this point.
Well, that's what happens to things when they die. They deflate. Ooh.
And something's been chewing on it.
Yeah, that's
The gulls.
cause of death unknown.
Yeah. It looks like it was alive and somebody shotgunned it.
Yeah, it looks like it was alive at one point. Yeah, well done, Polly.
I mean, it didn't die of the freezing.
CSI AAA. Right?
I got your point.
Bastard.
Well, it didn't die of the cold. No, it's on the fucking beach. It definitely didn't die of the cold. It probably like this lack of water, or like a whale came along and ate it.
Have you never been
Drunko
fishing
is being
and have a fish flop
such-
back into the water on you? It happens.
I've never been fishing.
Really?
No,
They don't have lakes.
we do.
Do you have lakes in Britain?
We
They
do.
don't have
Oh
any
my, yeah, of
lakes.
course we have fucking lakes in Britain. Annoyingly, though, the Lake District is just one lake.
They don't have any lakes.
We have lakes.
I know you have lakes, and I know you have rivers. I know you.
Oh,
have,
you do.
And I know
you do you?
Yeah, and I know you have river otters. Because that was
We
one
have
of-
streams.
Yep, and babbling brooks as well.
Mm-hmm.
Babbling all night long.
Oh yeah, too much babbling, to be honest. Keeps me awake.
Because I remember when we were talking about the distribution of the otter population in the world on Monday, like where has otters? Everywhere.
And Ohio, mainly Ohio.
How the fuck river otters got to every fucking place on the globe? Like they swam the Atlantic, apparently?
The rivers.
Well, that'd be a sea otter then, wouldn't it?
No, they're it's river otters in North America and then river otters again over in the UK.
Yeah, but like if they swam the Atlantic, then like they change class briefly to sea otter
Oh, I see.
until they reach a destination, and then they're like, bang, right, I'm a river otter again now.
I don't think they're okay. I'm not even gonna argue.
Do you think they have accents?
Yes. I mean, everyone's heard the adorable
Every
dolphin-like
single
squeal noises that otters make, right? It's fantastic, and I'm willing to bet
Yeah.
that the Irish otters say it with a lilt and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, like fucking Cockney otters.
All right, you gonna read that?
Corbin Thomas threw $2 saying, "Do you actually have rivers there?" Yeah, we have fucking rivers, Corbin Thomas. Of course, we've got fucking rivers. I'm so done with.
Yeah, there's like the Thames. I mean, the famous one. It's
No, not the theme. The themes upon pon.
If somebody,
Mr. Ohms, they've just dragged a body from the themes.
if somebody in chat, because there's people in chat that are very, very good at this, and I'm not. If somebody could remember somehow the first stream that I ever brought up on Pawn and said it, and Drunkle's reaction, that's what I want. I want it on a.
Or when I asked about snow.
Yeah. If you guys can locate just the stream and I'll find it in there. You don't have to locate the actual timestamp.
Okay. First of all, it was Polly who asked about snow.
It was not.
It was.
I don't think I've ever heard anything as incredulous in my life as on Pawn.
The anti-British sentiment is starting early this week, isn't it? Doc threw $1 saying, "Fun fact, it's too early. Fun fact: dolphins have regional accents. Dolphins have regional accents. That's fucking." So like, there's a dolphin like, "Oh please, mister, can I have another fish?" Corbin Thomas threw $2 saying, "Do you guys have coastlines in the UK?" I'm asking for Polly. Of course we have coastline. The whole fucking everything is a goddamn coastline.
That's the one thing they do have.
There's one thing
we
that
have.
I thoroughly agree with the British on when they're like, "I'm not European, I'm British." I'm like, "Good for you. You're not."
It's not even that. I'm not British. I'm English.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that again because that got very confusing for me.
I'm not English. I'm Derbyshonian.
Well, there's one thing that's consistently British, at least from my experience, is that every person in Britain hates every other person who's from another block, and they've got an example of their stupid slang, a mocking impression of them, and some idiot that they know that was from there that did something idiotic. It's great.
Yeah, this is true. And the name they have for bread rolls.
What's a like a sausage roll? Is it?
No, like you know,
like a dinner roll.
Like a dinner roll.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'd be like a bap or a bun or a roll. Or like there's fucking animals up there calling it a bun. What the fuck it?
A bap?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Dr. $1 saying, "Do you have sensible self-defense laws in the UK?" Of course we don't have sensible self-defense laws in the UK. What the fuck, dog?
Of course we don't. Talking about Ben, thank you for the $3. Being anti-British is all week, every week, even Mondays, especially Mondays.
You're goddamn right.
But on Mondays, everywhere is Britain, so it's just a lot of self-loathing you have there, isn't it?
I think we've already successfully seceded after a couple of weeks of no Britain.
I don't think you have. No, you don't get to make that decision. I was sick.
We literally do get to make that decision.
You do not. No, you've done it once and you fucked it up, didn't you?
Hey, well, we're sticking with it.
Well, yeah, all right, you're doubling down. I'll give you that.
A bap.
A bap. Yeah. Also,
Sounds like
another word for boobs.
Another word for boobs?
Yeah, get your baps out, love.
Oh, I've never heard that one. That's the least sexy thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yep.
Get your farts out, love.
No,
it sounds like this. I wish I could do like even a comical Cockney accent that was even like.
Now would be the perfect time for a fart donation. Holy shit.
Comical, all right, as your father. Don't be stupid and don't know me, father. Hooray!
I was watching Lotus Eaters, and they're talking about the balloon and their perspective on it, right? And whenever they want to, they can go full, soccer hooligan for this comedic effect of it, right? And it's, I wish I could. Because it's like, you have to understand, I don't think that a lot of people are seeing this for whether it was intended or not, the outcome of it, which is that America ended up looking weak. It's like, look, I'm not American. This made you guys look weak. And that's not an insult to our American viewers. And I'm like, right. I'm like, that's hard to hear because I can see that and they're probably not wrong. Yeah, it did make us look globally weak, didn't it? The response to the balloon thing. It's like whether it was intended as a test of your resolve or not, it ended up being that. and you found out to have no resolve. And then one of them, Callum, starts talking. He's like, yeah, it's like when the big oaf comes up to you with the fucking club, and he can, or outside the club, and he can see that you're smoking. So he's like, let me have a cigarette or a fag, and
Careful, buddy, careful. I've had to train myself out of that word. The people at the pub is just like, oh, Mr. La-di-da with his cigarettes over here.
I have an online identity protect. Shut up.
Right?
Quit judging me.
After a certain time of being unused, Polywords goes up to free market.
So the line is he asks for a cigarette, and then as soon as you get out your pack to give him one, this is a stranger, he immediately says to you, all right, mate, give us another. And it's like, and he went into like full drunken soccer hooligan with it. And I'm like, yeah, wow. So that's a consistency, because later on he wants to figure out who the soft marks are, because he's going to come take your money off you at the end of the night. What's the easiest way to fucking mug somebody? Well, you don't pull a fucking gun on them. You just be large and imposing against somebody who's not willing to defend themselves. And you simply search their pockets and just start pulling shit out of them. You know they're not going to do anything. Why? Because they're willing to take the little transgression earlier on in the night. That's why. And when you stumble up to them really fucking drunk now, the odds of them saying, get the fuck off of me, get your hands out of my pockets, aren't very good. I've seen the amount of people, like, little dudes that I've seen mugged at the fucking club because they simply let somebody. Not good. And when I say club, I don't mean like dance club. I mean like, neighborhood joint. Fucking ugly situation, man. And that's kind of what China just did. We're going to float a balloon over top of you, and what are you going to do about
right,
it?
that's where you were going with it. Okay.
No, that was the point that they were making. Is like it's very much like the way someone will test your resolve. And you failed.
Yeah. Take an inch. Freedom. Take an inch, take a mile. Yeah. Oh, we're seeing it in a lot of aspects of society, fucking pronouns.
Yeah.
Or just quit fucking about and get your baps out.
That, Sinatra, I'm loving the spirit in that right there.
Darth Mando, thank you for the $1. Does the UK have English people? And does England have British people? Also, did you see the donation I recommended in Discord PMs? I got like, it's on the list of things to do tonight, to go through my Discord DMs. I'll do it. I haven't seen it yet, but I will, Darth Mando. And for Sherman, thank you for $3. Oi, Brit! We did have this British Empire when you didn't stream for a few weeks. You don't have any say in this.
I do.
That's from M4 Sherman. You've been told.
I'm recolonizing.
Not here. We're armed. What are you going to do? Poke us with your blunted knife?
Fuck yeah, you're going to know what to do with me and my battle spoon.
Doc, thank you for the $1. You've done it once and fucked it up, didn't ya? Laughs in non-blunted knives. Okay, I get it. I gave you a cheap laugh. It was worth it. Okay, here, guys, watch this. Watch this. Okay, this freaked me the fuck out. Like, it legitimately did. Okay?
Okay.
You ready? Just move this over here. Guys walking in a pool. Right? Everything's fine.
Very nice. Oh, no. Oh, no. Don't do it.
Watch.
Jesus Christ.
This is not okay. I don't like this.
Jesus has evolved.
Yeah, I don't... Those make me super nervous because people don't realize how
I don't like
heavy
this.
water is.
Oh, yeah.
A pool that goes over the edge of a building with a glass bottom. Who's the fucking maniac who thought that up?
Someone who just fucking loves the view of concrete in, I'm guessing, Texas?
You know what? That does look like parts of downtown Dallas.
It does. It looks like Texas.
Hold on, let's find out. Jesus, Houston! Drunkle, well fucking done, buddy.
Come on! Recolonization complete.
That was actually, I said Dallas. Wow. What is it?
Texas is a big place, mate.
What clued us in? Like, I immediately accepted the proposition.
It looks like a concrete dystopian nightmare.
But bright and sunny. It's not like gray, grimy, oily New York, you know, which is also a concrete dystopia.
Yeah. This is what shit. I'd rather have like an indoor swimming pool than that view. Imagine if the fucking the bottom does break as well. That's going to be the last thing you ever see. How depressing is that?
And you will die a stupid person. Everything you would accomplish in your life up till that point, the children you had reared, everything you had done, all your education, your accomplishments, your friends, gone. Because all anyone's going to talk about is he fell through the bottom of a fucking pool.
This absolute dipshit.
Yeah.
Listen to what he did.
The only person in history to drown in midair.
Oh, I really just didn't like that. Okay, so check out this fucking hustler here. Former vice chair of DC's police unit arrested for working second job at Whole Foods. My first reaction was like, what's the problem?
Arrested?
Like, it's embarrassing that this guy wasn't getting paid enough, I thought was the story. No, he was on the clock on overtime working at Whole Foods.
Oh, right. You're double dipping.
Yeah. So over a very short period of time, he was able to abscond with 36 fucking grand in overtime payment that he submitted for and was paid for, but had never even come close to working. The thing that kills me is like, welcome to Washington, D.C., where the D.C. City Council is sacrosanct in a bunch of very frightening ways. And the police department, because there's so many federal agencies there, so many law enforcement types floating around. If you know what I mean, you got the Department of the Interior that's responsible for like the National Mall and whatnot. And then as soon as you step off onto Constitution, it's the Metro Police that are responsible. Yet the Metro Police can do arrests on the National Mall and other areas that are run by and protected by, and the grass is cut by the Department of the Interior. It's a nightmare. So there's law enforcement people everywhere. The last thing the DC City Council wants is their own law enforcement officers undermined. So they have to do shit as far gone as this, where they had to go to Whole Foods and pull this person's employment records, their fucking punch card, and fucking video evidence of them actually working with timestamps on it to be able to bring the guy up on charges.
Jesus.
And while he was on charges, was he put on paid leave? You're damn right he was.
Whoa! You should have just done that.
Committed an offense and not gone and worked at Whole Foods, but sat at home eating Cheetos and getting paid.
Start a fucking Twitch channel or something.
Right? Alan. Yeah, Alan, how's it going? Thank you for the $3. It's been a minute. Polly, I said I would get you guys back in a little at a time. And Sinatra is next.
Ooh.
Still getting us back, but it's awesome that you did. Thank you very much. Yeah, this guy's next level. Have you ever done that? Either you been paid for two things at once?
Fuck yeah.
You just walked right into that self-incrimination, didn't you?
No, was it because I was on paid holiday when I worked in TV, but I helped some people out with cash in hand with a cleaning job. So I was getting doubly paid.
Gotcha.
One of my favorites actually was when I was
jobs.
Well, yeah, that's what he did.
No, he was on the clock at one job, working at another one.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, it's the same thing, isn't it? It's just, mine was legal.
No, you were working two separate jobs.
Well, no, I was only working one job because I was on paid holiday for the other one.
That's not the same thing.
And the amount of taking fucking doing an acting job as well. I take a fucking day off from the office. I'm getting doubly paid for that.
That's not the same thing.
It's not this. Not what? No. All right. Have I ever been the vice chair of DC's police union? No.
It's also not what he asked.
All right.
I don't think he understands the question.
No. Did you know that the Metro Police in DC took, get this, 8,700 guns just in the northwest of DC in 2021?
And where?
People that were arrested and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, you're not getting those back.
No,
what's the
no. You're not getting
term?
those back. But I mean, it's just that's the amount of people with illegal firearms on. They were subsequently charged and probably pled down. They always are. The gun charge is always the first thing to be thrown out because you probably committed a violent offense or were in possession of drugs or whatever the fuck, right? And so it's like, we'll throw out the gun charge if you plead guilty to the drug charge or the assault charge, because those usually carry the more serious time. You want a legislative effort federally or within a given state that will actually have an effect. You know how you can have mandatory minimum sentencing, like sentencing guidelines? Yeah. You can enact under law, and it's been done before, where if the elements of the crime are demonstrated, the prosecutor is obligated to press the charges through to trial, to court, to the point where the person either pleads guilty to it or is found not guilty. How many charges are laid versus tossed out or pled down related to firearms? It's like, is carrying a gun really that much of a threat? Even if you're a violent offender, getting caught with possession of a loaded handgun, are you really looking at that much time? No, you're not.
It depends. I think it depends.
If you're out on parole, so you violated your parole, you get snapped back to serve your full time. Sure. So that can equal a lot of time, but really you're not.
But we have examples like Hunter Biden getting caught lying on a federal firearm for him, and he got no time, which is the same offense.
Can you imagine if you committed that in a state where they were obligated to press the charge?
Oh, federally, it would have been overturned. It would have.
Yeah. Or, when your dad's the president, there would have been a
time served,
pardon.
something.
Yeah. Time served, something. Exactly.
Well, I will never not bring this up because I feel like I need to at every turn. I want you guys to keep in mind, Sean Hannity petitioned Donald Trump to pardon Hunter Biden before Joe took office.
I'm being reminded of that. I knew that, but I forgot about it. What was his reasoning there?
I don't even remember, and I never really cared to look into it, honestly. I just like to bring it up every now and then, just to remind you guys Sean Hannity's an untrustworthy piece of shit.
Oh, that guy is a fucking grifter. Absolutely. I'm kind of glad Sean Hannity exists, because whenever I complain about somebody over at MSNBC, I say, what do you watch, Fox? I said, what, are you kidding me? They've got Sean Hannity. He's the worst.
And that's a fact.
Do you know what I mean? I don't bring up Tucker because he's awesome.
I mean, that's also a fact.
You just bring it like, Sean Hannity, you're clearly a fucking grifter, and you're not very good at what you do. Talk about a blustering blowhard. Anyway, moving along. Where were we? Oh, yeah. Authorities searching for man who left human jawbone in San Bernardino police station.
You'd think he'd be fairly easy to spot, really, wouldn't you?
It wasn't his own.
Oh.
Huh.
Oh.
Police are seeking public help in identifying a man who brought a human jawbone into San Bernardino police station and left it there. The man entered the police station on Thursday and approached a public counter with what appeared to be animal remains and an unknown lower jawbone. Officers attempted to locate the man after he left, but was unsuccessful. He just dropped it off and said, here you go. And they went, all right. And they went, wait, Jesus Christ, this is a human bone. Police say the man is believed to be between 30 and 35 years old, around 5 feet, full beard and a mustache. Full beard. Kind of covers the mustache, no?
He could be missing the jawbone underneath the beard then, It could still be his.
Yeah. Let's appeal to the public,
Yeah.
So this charming woman here.
That guy's got a mouth on him. Sorry, go on.
She's given a $5 million bond after she's charged in her husband's murder. $5 million. Oh,
damn.
Well, strong evidence.
She looks like the kind of person who would murder her husband.
She does.
$5 a month.
And yes to that also.
Yes.
It's loading. I'm sorry.
All right.
Speaking of grifts and grifter allegations, have you been keeping up with the Tim Pool quarter pounder drama? I have. Like, how that's so juicy. And I don't want to get too far into it here, but everybody is now realizing the shit I've been saying for literal years about Tim Pool, and it's so gratifying. And now people aren't jumping out. Oh, you're just jealous of him and his success. It's like, nope, I was telling the truth the whole time. You were too stupid to listen.
Vindication. It's a good feeling.
So this woman dies, or excuse me, this woman is charged when her husband dies with 5 times the insulin that he needed to have.
Right.
And her story doesn't match up with the forensic evidence at all. Just
I would have the suspicious too.
right.
Thank you, Doc.
Until they start looking into her past after she's been arrested and charged. It turns out her former husband up in Minnesota died of gunshot wounds and the murderer was never caught. That's why she got $5 million bond. Oh, well then.
Fuck it. So a bond, that means she's out on bail, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. That was it. That was the only question.
Yeah, maybe you've caught up with a killer here, possibly a multiple time killer. No one really looked at that gunshot case of her ex-husband widowed dude. What do you call a dead husband?
Still a widow.
Still a widow?
Yeah.
Alive.
Breaks the bonds of matrimony, does it?
The lucky one.
Yeah, right? It's I got told off the other night about cracking jokes at marriage where people were like, it was Eve. She's like, Polly, you really need to watch. You tell those jokes a lot. I'm like, I don't tell them that much. She goes, no, you tell other jokes more. But women hearing you crack even more than one joke about marriage, it red flags. Well, but those are jokes. Somebody asked me, are you married? And I said, no, I don't get migraines. See, that's funny, right? Okay, it was just a little.
That's funny. That's
just a little one-off. That's all. I was telling that story, the cold, dead stare that I got for saying that from a woman, and it's like, yeah, that's you gotta really you're just in here amongst us, and it's fine. And you tell us, but you can't be telling those jokes out in public.
Of course you can. Look, if she doesn't laugh, then that's not the kind of woman you want to marry. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's a good litmus test.
A friend of mine told me one time, because if you're really thinking about being serious about a woman, just turn on some Looney Tunes in front of her. Try Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, etc. Like, try the mainstays. And if she can't find something in there to laugh about, you need to really think over that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's not bad. That's not bad. If somebody sits there stone faced during, like, you give them the full gamut, like you play like duck season, wabbit season in front of her, and she can't find something to even smile at in there, that's a really good sign.
I have been talking Miss Sin into watching Trailer Park Boys, or not Trailer Park Boys. Why the hell was I thinking about Trailer Park? Oh, because it just popped up on screen. Adventure Time. Because she sees the clips and the donos I have of it. I'm like, you really need to watch it. It's a solid show.
You'd never seen Adventure Time.
Uh-uh.
I mean, the good thing is she gets to watch it for the. I'm envious.
Yeah, right?
See, Doc says my girlfriend agrees, Polly. There you go. Evidence.
Apart from the lemon grab story, kind of fucking scared me. But I watched it when I had the flu, so I had some fucking weird dreams, man.
Well, the lemon grab story arc is insanely terrifying because
it's dark, man.
As a kid, you look at it like, oh, funny lemon man, but as an adult, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was fucking twisted.
Poor little lemon hope.
Don't do it, man.
So moving along, woman accused of killing terminally ill husband at Daytona Beach Hospital planned shooting with spouse. Thank you, Verlene, for this one.
She had another husband?
It's a twist and turn story. A 76-year-old woman, this is peak Florida woman here.
Yeah, naturally.
Is in bars and being accused of shooting and killing her terminally ill husband. She faces Ellen Gilland, Faces a judge for the first
Generous?
time on Saturday, right? She's being held without bond. Based upon the nature of the charge, I'm going to do no bond and murder charge and blah, 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 blah. Aggravated assault, 3 counts of aggravated assault. Daytona Beach responded to the shooting at Advent Health in Daytona Beach. According to the police, responding officer Gillen shot her husband, 77-year-old man, Jerry, and confined herself to his room. He was the only patient.
Daytona Beach responded with a dead whale on the beach.
Let's see. Upon arrival, the officers were directed to the 11th floor where they entered an elderly female who had apparently shot her terminally ill husband. Apparently, because he was terminally ill, they had a conversation about it. And when they actually planned this, this was euthanasia.
Okay, unpopular opinion. I think euthanasia should be okay.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that's actually an unpopular opinion.
Well, see, here's the thing about this story, just to wrap it up. It's like, you shot your husband. Well, he wanted me to.
Yeah, it's my husband. What do I want with him?
That's why I put these stories back to back, because they're kind of lost as to what, he is actually, or was, terminally ill, and you did indeed shoot him. But did you murder him? Because you're claiming that it was euthanasia. You think you would have gotten to sign something so you would be, catching a murder charge. But she didn't, and he didn't.
Yeah, I don't think that should be a murder charge.
If she had some kind of evidence at all, do you really want Shelley saying Sin totally wanted out of his misery? So I put 8 bullets in the back of his head while he was sleeping?
If I wanted to die, okay, I would tell more than one person. I'd be like, you know what? I'm kind of sick of this. I'm not happy. I'm in pain all the time. I can't shit by myself. I'm gonna just...
Right.
I'm just gonna call it a wrap. I wouldn't just be like one person.
Bit of a party. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's something.
And then at the end of it, you take your leave.
Wow. Okay. So look, social media posts, you are a campus alert student banned and so on. Look, here's this kid, right? And he goes on a social media app that touts itself as being Yik Yak. It's an anonymous, private social media app.
Or so he thought.
Exactly. How long did it take for them to arrest him once they wanted to find out who it was? Like, to identify him so they could go arrest him? Hours. They just called.
I love it.
They just got a hold of them and said, who is this user? And that was it. They were able to immediately identify who it was. So anonymous, yeah, fuck you it is. If a company tells you that they are, don't worry, we'll take care of your data. We'll anonymize it for you. Just sign up and so on. Bullshit. Bullshit.
You can tell that is a mugshot as well, because they took the string out of his hoodie.
Mm-hmm. So he didn't garrote someone.
Yeah.
Or himself.
Well, when I was in it, they took my fucking shoes and everything,
Yeah. And your belt. Well, it was just
what's wrong with my shoes?
You're walking around with sock feet and holding up your pants and can't draw your hoodie tight.
Dirty jail cell.
Yeah, I'm not saying Doc don't love Yik Yak. I'm just saying don't think it's anonymous, because it ain't. As soon as they want to find out who you are, it's really straightforward. Boy, 16, handed a 61-pound fine.
We're not supposed to call him that anymore.
A boy?
No, 16.
Boy, somewhere between 15 and 17, handed a 61-pound fine after a $1 million farm arson attack.
That does not say dollar.
Did I say $1 million? £1 million. I tried. Yep. Fuck you.
Come on, man. We're on a worldwide forum here. Give it a time.
I tried, damn it. Handed a 61-pound fine for 1 million pounds of damage. And interestingly, it was in Oxfordshire, and it was an egg farm.
Of course.
Another egg farm. Actually, I don't know if it was an egg farm, but I wouldn't be surprised. And
no, that does not look like an egg farm. That is a load of bales of fucking hay and straw, obviously, right there, that have gone right up.
Yeah, they don't use hay or straw to protect eggs ever.
No. Not that much. Like, shit, well, how big are the fucking eggs?
You know, I've never had a duck egg or a goose egg.
You never
Me
had a duck
neither.
egg?
No.
Yeah, I like duck eggs. They go. I like a
Well,
fried
they
egg
have
on
to
a steak.
import them over there. They don't have any ducks in England.
We do have ducks
have-
in England.
They just
They
have
sit on the
swans.
lakes that we also have. Duck eggs are nice. I like them.
Are they?
I got some eggs today.
Are
as
they
well.
like
Very
hen eggs or
beautiful.
just bigger?
They are bigger and the flavour is a little more rich. Only a little more rich, but it's because I like a fried egg on a steak. You see, so I'd much prefer to go for a duck egg.
I like a scrambled egg on the side.
Interesting.
Yeah, sunny side up or scrambled on the side of a steak is fucking amazing.
Especially if you put a
it's-
little bit of cheese on that scrambled egg.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
Hot sauce. Damn,
and
boy.
I've done the mixing the shredded cheese, the shredded cheddar up in the scrambled egg before dropping into the pan. I've found it's better
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yes, you have to do it. Like the minute you swirl the egg around and it starts to coagulate, that's when the cheese goes in.
Coagulate. I got some eggs today. That is, you know, we have the
Oh
problem
well,
with the
la
eggs
di
over here as
da.
well.
Somebody got
Yeah,
a
no, it is,
$200
though.
donation on Monday, and they're out buying. I can't afford eggs, drunkle.
It's not.
I-
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm excited to have them.
I know.
Like
I know.
my mum dropped them off to me because she went to a farm on the way back from
Oh my
seeing
God,
her sisters,
eggs!
You know, so actual. Yeah, she gave me 18 eggs. Because I always have to do two boiled eggs when I'm come out of the gym, you know, protein.
Are these small,
This-
like farm fresh eggs, like a small farm?
They are farm fresh, but they are not small, sir. They are not small. These are good sized eggs. Because I have to cross the road, and I've got 2 fucking boxes of eggs. I've got 18 eggs on me, and I'm shielding them inside my jacket because people are like, "What you got there, my lord?" You know, like, nothing.
Hey mate, give
Go
us an
back
egg.
to your
Yeah, that's right. Sinatra, this is Drunkle talking. Did you know when he said I had to cross the road and he had chicken eggs? Didn't you feel a really bad joke was coming on?
Oh my god, I didn't even think.
Yes, of course.
I was
because
waiting
is
for it.
Drunkle.
I was like, my stomach was clenched to avoid the cringe, and it just didn't happen. It was weird. Moving along. Woman irked by doorbell prank beat and racially abused teenage boy.
Jesus Christ.
As a parent, I can empathize.
Okay, so a doorbell prank by a group of schoolboys earned one of the boys a beating and racial abuse by an angry resident. The incident took place
No way.
last year. Teens were headed home after school and rang the doorbell of a private residence, then ran off. But one of the teens lagged behind, one of the kids lagged behind long enough to get caught. The door opened and out came a woman who, evidently annoyed by the unwelcome disturbance, grabbed the 13-year-old and struck him with such force that his hearing was momentarily impaired. While she soundly beat the boy, the woman allegedly made offensive comments about his skin color.
You know. Freedom. It's just like slapping him about, going, "This is why your father left."
This is such an overreaction. What's going on in Malta, man? Holy fuck. C. Thomas, thank you for the $1. All of this talking about eggs makes me think you guys are just yoking around waiting for Drunkle's joke to hatch. Jeez.
Cracking pun. What?
Moving along.
What's wrong with that? Come on, lay it on me.
Wisconsin man gets 16 years for shooting at kids throwing snowballs.
The overreaction stream.
Jeez.
A Wisconsin man convicted of shooting a group of children who threw snowballs in his car in 2020 received a 16-year prison sentence.
Jesus Christ.
According to court records, I love this so much. 7 children were throwing snowballs at passing cars on Milwaukee's north side in January 2020. A driver later identified as Carson turned his car around, got out, and opened fire at the group.
Going, "This is why your father left."
Prosecutors have said 2 of the children were hurt after being shot through the thigh and the arm. A third child's jacket was grazed by a bullet.
Oh, not the jacket.
I said, that's it. My wife made fun of me this morning. My girlfriend won't talk to me. My kids are misbehaving hellions, and now these little bastards are throwing snowballs at me, and I hate this song on the radio. That's it. He turns around.
I think it's like when I was that age, a show of the times, like if I got shot by a fucking randomer in a car, and I go like, "Mum, the man shot me," she'd be like, "What did you do to him?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be
You
the
know?
response, I think.
Were you throwing snowballs at his car? That yeah, I was. Yeah. Well, then you deserve it, don't you, Millard?
What were you doing?
And your jacket's ruined.
But you lied. It's nothing. What were you doing? You meant nothing relative to the gunfire response that you got. Now, speaking of what they do and don't have in the UK. Now, they may have lakes, they may have rivers, they may have ducks, but what they don't have
And snow.
and snow is any semblance of national pride.
What the fuck are you on about?
Okay.
What, have you never heard the song Vindaloo?
The chicken?
It's a curry.
Yeah, Vindaloo chicken is how I've always had it. It's
You
just
thinking tandoori.
It's overrated. It just means spicy.
It's a song.
No, I've never heard. What about Vindaloo?
It's a song relating to the World Cup and Pride of England.
Called Vindaloo.
Called Vindaloo. Nah, nah. That's the words. Vindaloo, nah, nah.
Why wouldn't it be?
Me and me mum and me dad and me gran went off to Waterloo. Me and me mum and me dad and me gran had a bucket of Vindaloo.
Why wouldn't it be a bucket of some native tasteless concoction?
Because the song is not called Native Tasteless Concoction, Polly.
But it should, if it's national pride. You should be proud of the bland
Man's got a point.
flavorlessness.
Nope, stop talking, go to jail.
He doesn't
No,
know.
no.
Okay.
Okay, Church of England Synod member claims that bishop called police over tweets against gay pride. So this person, I'm reading this story, is a member of the Council of Elders, to make it short, the synod, the synod group, right? In the Church of England, and a bishop called the fucking bobbies on his ass to say that this guy is tweeting on social media saying that queer theory should not be taught to our children in school. Isn't this hate speech? A bishop did this.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say it's a lateral move, but they can actually only go diagonal, can't they?
Devil Fruit Zero. Lemon Grab is awesome. Talking shit is unacceptable.
It just makes me, what is going on in the Church of England? Gender neutral God to be considered by the Church of England. This is what they're spending their time being worried about. Not their bishops having members of their own fucking senior council arrested for online hate speech by saying queer theory shouldn't be taught to children. They're worried about, well, should we be really calling God he? Like, this is what I mean when I say national.
The Bible.
This is what I mean when I say national pride. You don't have to be a religious person even remotely. But this is an institution of Britain. Like, literally. Like, as an Anglo, it should be, what the fuck is happening? In my opinion.
Man, I mean, even if this were in America, I'd be like, what the fuck is happening? Is this the debate that you're having right now? Does God have balls?
For decades, the gender of God has prompted debate within the church because we've got nothing fucking better to talk about.
I don't think it has, Sin. I don't think it... Look, I mean, they've got much bigger problems, haven't they? Like, gee, maybe, we should stop molesting children. And maybe the people aren't should stop covering up. No, let's talk about, the God boob instead. Do we have to call him he? Do we have to call him she? Should we reprint the Bible? We can make some cash off of that. It's like Disney digitally remastering every fucking cartoon they've ever had every 10 years. They're just doing that with the Bible now. They're not going to get the sales up, Yeah,
fucking charming. Charming. They're talking about, gendered language in the Bible, as particularly in reference to the Our Father prayer. It's like, guys, let it go. You're not going to win this one. Oh, yeah, but we can.
It's trying to get the kids in, isn't it? Like, hey, guys, look, come on, we're gender neutral now. Come on, come in, sing a song.
They simply don't want to put up with the fucking criticism that'll come from social media over shit, because that defines every fucking policy going forward, not just politically, but inside of churches or businesses or whatever. All you need is 5 angry people on Twitter, and a giant multi-billion-dollar corporation will change its fucking direction, or change its advertising, or put up the pride flag. Every fucking whoa, got real close to a poly right there. It's when I'm ranting that they come out. I gotta be careful.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Yeah. I was about to call it something really unsavory. During Pride Month, it seems to last for like 3 months. It's like the pre-Pride season, and then the after-Pride season, where it takes like a month to take down all the fucking flags that you put up, but don't put up a flag of.
It's a bit before, isn't it? You're pre-gaying.
Yeah.
But it's the thing though, Polly. Was it not said that God made Adam in his own image?
Yeah.
No, there you go. Right. Debate over.
Guys, let it go, is my call on it. It's like, well, it's fine for you to say, yeah, it is. It felt really good. Let it go. You should be worried about your fucking wild atheism rates and focusing on things that people actually want to hear, as opposed to the 5 angry percent of Twitter that are responsible for 75% of its traffic.
And the Church of England has got rookie numbers at the moment, Like, I think if you put priests on like commission-based wages, maybe the numbers will go up a little bit more.
If you put priests on commission wages.
Yeah, like you got to increase the size of your flock.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and you get a wireless radio.
I mean, it becomes a national embarrassment where, like, I'm saying that, like, I'm watching a show on YouTube where they're talking about, this made America look bad. It's a couple of Brits saying it, and you're like, watching this and listening to it as an American, you're thinking, fuck you, but you correct bastard. Like, no, you're right. It made us look weak. When you have the Church of fucking England, like I said, you don't have to be a religious person or, sidestep onto fucking molestation when it's got nothing to do with anything to realize that these people are fucking focused on the wrong shit. I mean, the king during his coronation is going to be named as the head of this church now. Right. It's sort of a like inseparable institution of the United Kingdom. But yet, no, it's fine if it's totally running like to all the gayers. Because again, the angry 5% of Twitter said something. You got to be
running with the times, aren't you?
No, you don't run with the times. Otherwise, you become a ridiculous time capsule.
I agree. Other things, the upholding of tradition and ceremony and rituals should not be running with the times. That is like the opposite of what organized religion does.
I don't know. When you get people going, hey, I think these liberal nut jobs are going a little
alcohol, liquor, booze.
That's the excuse right there. I didn't fall down because I'm clumsy. See, Thomas, thank you for the $2. At this point, the alphabet fuckery is less about people and more about trying to be a totalitarian ideology, change my mind, mock, question, and reject all totalitarian ideas. Yeah, the people who complain, do you think that they're spending a lot of time at church and just can't stand the fact that there isn't gender neutral terminology being used for God? You think that's actually who's complaining?
No, of course not. Like I said before, these people don't ever partake in the stuff they complain about.
No,
their life is existing being mad on Twitter about stuff that has literally no impact on them.
Yeah, like,
at this point, it's just
Elliot Page spends, I don't know how much of her time complaining about conservative evangelical Christians in the U.S. and the various people in Hollywood that are associated with them because of their anti-LGBTQ stance, according to her. What do you care? You don't go to church. What the fuck do you...
Well, I mean, she does. She worships at the altar of entitlement.
Where are we, John Boy? If I had to guess, I'd say Communist China. Are we gonna die here? Darn fucking tootin'.
Doc for 5 says the Church of England is sucking the throbbing, veiny cock of Baphomet more than the current Pope. Oh, speaking of which...
Nice.
That's how you get the kids in.
That is how you get the kids in. Did you see walk on? Got me in.
Yeah, I'm questioning my faith as we speak.
That was a miracle. Did you see those feet move? They were blurs. Blurs, I tell you.
Hell yeah.
Divine Boomgish.
You can spell jive without Jehovah.
Thank you for the 1050. God gets free transition surgery on your tax dollar. Right, yeah, right. It's only right. All right, moving on to our titular article here. So, here's that. The Monday we were talking about things, and I made a reference to cows not being that fast, and it was a ridiculous notion that cows could run. Never let it be said that I don't admit when I'm wrong.
Okay.
Mom dies after being trampled by a herd of cows on holiday as she walks dogs in her field. Yeah, they stampeded her to death, and she wasn't fast enough to get away.
Well, I mean, the problem... Cows are very curious creatures, Polly. They'll all come over and see, if you're at a fence, they'll all come over and see what's up and everything like that. But then they have herds. It's very rare that you have one cow. You'll have loads of cows in a field.
Right.
And then, you know, if you're walking through, all the cows are going to come over and be like, oh, what's going on here then, right? They're not going to do anything. They don't come up and start headbutting you or kicking you or anything like that. But the thing is, people tend to get quite intimidated by the sheer amount. So they start running away. And then the cows, of course, start running after you. Well, not after you, but, you know... and inevitably, with you. Yeah, there you go. Inevitably, you either get, puffed out or whatever, and the cows just keep on fucking running. It's not malicious or anything. Cows are fucking idiots. They're lucky they're delicious. But they're not as dumb as the people that run away from cows.
Just a guy. What school did she attend? The Prometheus School of running away from things? Yeah, don't run to the right or left. Run straight away in the direction they're going. That's how you get away from something.
Just walk away. They'll follow you, but just don't run, because they will run as well.
Yeah, OFC in chat, you're right. It's she was probably listening to AAA on Monday, heard me talk about it, thought it was perfectly safe to transverse this field. Polly said so. And, whoops. Yeah. So here she is out with her dog in a picture from, 1970.
Yeah.
Not really.
Is the dog okay?
Yeah, the dog's fine, actually.
Oh, okay. Good.
She's like...
It was her the cows had beef with.
Huh? I see what you did there.
Yeah?
She's actually from, small town England, and how do you know? Look at that thatchy roof.
That's a lovely roof. That is blatantly a pub.
You think so?
It's gotta be.
I don't know. Is it a good idea to stand outside a thatch roof house smoking?
I think she's far enough away.
Not her.
There's an actual stream in between her and the thatched roof right there.
No, I mean the pub people. I'm not saying she's not smoking at all.
Pub people?
Yeah, you and your ilk.
Fine, yeah. It's fine. The roof is thatched, but it's invariably damp 24/7 because it's in England.
Good point. I remember when I was at the University of Glasgow and I was walking around in one of their citadels because it's everything old enough starts looking like a castle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's of course quite humid there because and
with Scotland, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm walking up in one of their circular citadel-like fucking things up the fucking stone steps. And I look up and I see this fucking moss growing up in the fucking corner. And I'm thinking...
Mosque?
Moss.
Oh, right. I mean, it is Britain. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Carry on.
The SNP does run Scotland, so... Yeah. And I'm looking at that moss. I'm thinking, that moss could be 400 years old. That moss could be older than America.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in its current location for the last, 700 or 800 years? And then in its previous location for several hundred years prior to that. And it's wow, this is a fucking ancient ass building. And then seeing a spot of moss that's some fucking 40, 50 fucking feet in the air, I don't fucking think anybody ever gets up there to clean. That colony of moss could be that fucking old. And because, it's never
but I've got milk in my fridge that is older than America.
And it's the young upstart that, overshadowed you. Embarrassing.
Well, that's more of a yogurt now, I think.
This is the picture I love.
Are these the cows in question, Polly?
No, these are Getty cows, actually.
Are they about to drop the hottest album of 2023?
The thing I love about this picture is I can't help but thinking, you and your entire family, Billy.
All right. Moo, bitch, get out the way.
He has said that he has not had any issues with any of his cows or bulls being aggressive and would sell any showing unusual behaviors or temperament. The owner of said bovines.
Oh, yeah, you have the stakes are high.
What?
Nothing?
You have no idea how close I came to pull my headphones off and walking away. You know when you actually have to like force your ass into the seat? Like if it had been a Monday or a Friday, I would have. It's only because I'm the host that I stayed.
Ah, yeah, good. Noted. Noted.
Jesus Christ.
Sinatra's been quiet though. I think he is gone.
I mean, you've totally ruined. I'm showing up on Friday and I'm targeting you with a nonstop onslaught of pain. Well, you get ready, and if you're not there on fucking Friday, come Monday, there'll be hell to pay. Cringy
I'll be there on
hell.
Friday. I'll be there. I want this onslaught.
Quit, Joshua, Montgomery, and Kefke. Stop encouraging them.
Yeah, please encourage me. You see what I get from my co-hosts. I'm looking to you, chat.
Can't abide by this anymore. All right. That brings us to the end of the show. Drunkle, you going on to game?
Yes, actually, yes. I am going over to twitch.tv/drunkleplays, and we're kicking off with some Hogwarts Legacy, the game that is literally killing trans people.
I can't believe you funded and supported that fucking transphobe.
I wasn't going to, but then like people were just like, if you buy this game, you're transphobe. And they kind of forced my hand, Polly.
It's too bad you're not on Twitter. You should create an Instagram account just for you showing that pet mechanic.
There's a pet mechanic?
Yeah. That was like the last thing of the last week that I kept. I thought the Hogwarts thing was done until release. Like, what more could you possibly say? That they included a mechanic where you can pet the dogs and cats that you come across in the game.
Fuck yeah.
And they were the Twitterverse of idiots explode. The angry 5% of Twitter exploded yet again and said, "Don't be drawn in by the cutesy mechanics. This is hateful, and it's literally killing trans people, et cetera, Just because you could pet a digital cat doesn't mean that trans people aren't dying." So,
I mean,
start an Instagram account.
Literally dying.
Yeah, show you petting an animal and send it out. It'll make your political
position. I actually saw a post today. It was obviously it was a fucking post on Reddit of something on Tumblr. And it said, the trans people will actually be scared to stand next to you if you buy this game. And I was like, fucking Christ. So I bought the deluxe edition for £10 extra.
Like, I've got two good trans friends online, Platty and fucking Eve, and I'm telling you, they would play with you. What the fuck? I don't think either. Well, no, Eve might buy that game.
Well, again, that's the thing, is most trans people don't give a shit.
Nah,
about stuff like this. This is what a terrible hill to die on. There's a lot more important things that are on their minds that matter. You know what I mean?
Like, is God a zer?
Exactly.
Corbin Thomas through $3 for the Ricky Spanish said, "We demand more salvos of your chipper drunken punnery." You got it, Corbin Thomas. We have drunken punnery in the UK. And Doc for $1 said, "Speaking of this game literally killing trans people, check your Discord DMs." Will do, buddy. Thank you, Doc and Corbin Thomas.
So, Sin, that's your signal. What are you doing after the stream? You posting some videos on your multiple channels? Or you?
I have a stream highlight going up on the Sin and Sass channel. Or no, an actual video.
And is it all actually on the Sin and Sass channel?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Like, you went through the trouble to create an actual edited video and called it a stream clip. I mean, that's pretty big ball drop.
Because I've been trying to do one actual video a day and a stream highlight a day, and I thought it was a stream highlight, but nope, it's an actual video.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
There's Drunken Uncle at twitch.tv/DrunkelPlays.
Hells yeah.
Fuck yeah. There we go. An actual link. There you go. Polydub, you have a long overcoat. Of course I do. Of course I do. And an actual long overcoat. Like today, it's considered a overcoat if it goes like, you know, above your knees. No. It needs to go down, like at least halfway down your calves. Mine's even longer than that. It's the closest I can get
love
to
a long coat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the closest I can get to wearing a hooded cloak in the modern era and not look like a crazy person.
Yeah, you can do. Once I was coming back from the football and I saw someone wandering down the road wearing a cloak. And this is just as, you know, all the fucking hooligans have just come out of the stadium. I'm like, that motherfucker is bold.
Yeah. I mean, bring back the hooded cloak. Why can't I look like a wandering
yeah.
thief from a fantasy game?
Yeah. That's why. And, you know, otherwise, I'm just Dagger. I need my cloak.
Fine, Petulance. Hey, Polly, how do I weasel into your Discord? My Discord is a, I mean, Sin can vouch for it. He's in there. It's a meme depository. No one ever hangs out in there. It's, yeah. I hang out in other people's Discords, so it would be a matter of getting into their Discords. I should hang out in the AAA Discord more often.
Yeah.
Like, not just Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during showtime. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? There's plenty of people posting shit in there. I should be throwing the spiciest memes possible in there. I should be throwing the spiciest memes possible in there and see if I can get Irate Bear's fucking account shut down for hate speech.
No, you don't want to get too close to the rabble.
Yeah, that's also true. No, they're good folk. What are you talking about, man?
They'll think that you're one of them, and you're not.
Yeah, far worse. All right, so there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Drunkle, where can they find Sin and I next, and maybe you?
But, we're going to be back on Friday on the Themes Upon Pon at 10:30 p.m. GMT, 5:30 p.m. ST, 4:30 Central, and 5:30 a.m. on Christmas Island. Polybobs.
Beautiful. And there it is. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you all on Friday. Have a good night. Bring back the hooded cloak.
Bring it back!